Gotta show him I can still rap though.
Now I'm in the game, I was on the bench. First I was renting, now I'm collecting rent. Run it up. First it was the Beamer, now I want the Benz. Spending all the back like here I go again. Outside says the chirp, now the camera phone. Told you I'ma keep the channels on. Why you acting different when the camera's on? Why you acting different like your paper long? 8 day wake up and I thank God. Bad decision got you wishing you could say nah. I city gritty, you could get hit any day now. On my mama, I'ma move my family way out. With some 20s, 50s, hundreds, thousands, millions, billions, trillions, zillions. I'm talking Amazon money, talking so much money I could mess around and buy Amazon. I been winning, I'm like, why me? I heard these labels wanna buy me. I don't need you, boo, I style me. I roll G's and they grind me. Now I'm on my game, nothing is the same. Who am I to blame? Money made me change. Cardi in my ring when I'm switching lanes. Money in the carry on them Boeing planes. Money in the carry on them Boeing planes. Now I got a buck for all those rainy days. Ain't have a day off in like 80 days. I got hustles in like 80 ways. Kids if he won't take a lazy day. Wifey when me told me take a break. I keep going to the paper street. Then it's trips out to Montego Bay. If I take the job, bet I get it done. I said it before, I'm a 101. I just caught some ones, only wearing ones. Fornicate the funds, money made me calm. Diamonds on your neck, bet they on your neck. You want that watch, you better rock a tech. You want that chain, you better cop a vest. You want the check, but can you make it stretch? Took so many years, I'm just waiting for the wins. I'm in debt to no one but the one who took my sins. I do it for real, there's no reason to pretend. If I do it once, I do it again. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up. Matter what? Told you I'ma do me, why you hating on me? It's not adding up. I do roll like a Mack truck, country heart, I might cop a farm and go act up. Lot of scars, I was cold-hearted, now I'm backed up. Keep it real, I do this once a month, I don't rap much. I just take the money and go stack up. Only buying car cards, take it tatted up. All that other bull, it don't matter much. You only climb me, I put the ladders up. No fault. I done doubled up on the workload. I think I fell in love with the bankroll. Pray up, get money, then we lay low. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Add it up. Told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up. Matter what? Told you I'ma do me, why you hating on me? It's not adding up. Add it up. Told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up. Matter what? Told you I'ma do me, why you hating on me? It's not adding up.
Gotta show him I can still rap though.
Now I'm in the game, I was on the bench. First I was renting, now I'm collecting rent. First it was the Beamer, now I want the Benz. Spending all the back like here I go again. Outside says the chirp, now the camera phone. Told you I'ma keep the channels on. Why you acting different when the camera's on? Why you acting different like your paper long? 8 day wake up and I thank God. Bad decision got you wishing you could say nah. My city gritty, you could get hit any day now. On my mama, I'ma move my family way out. With some 20s, 50s, hundreds, thousands, millions, billions, trillions, zillions. I'm talking Amazon money, talking so much money I could mess around and buy Amazon. I been winning, I'm like, why me? I heard these labels wanna buy me. I don't need you, boo, I style me. I roll G's and they grind me. Now I'm on my game, nothing is the same. Who am I to blame? Money made me change. Cardi in my ring when I'm switching lanes. Money in the carry on them Boeing planes. Money in the carry on them Boeing planes. Now I got a buck for all those rainy days. Ain't have a day off in like 80 days. I got hustles in like 80 ways. kids if he won't take a lazy day. Wifey on me told me take a break. I keep going to the paper straight. Then it's trips out to Montego Bay. If I take the job, bet I get it done. I said it before, I'm a 101. I just caught some ones, only wearing ones. Fornicate the funds, money made me calm. Diamonds on your neck, bet they on your neck. You want that watch, you better rock a tech. You want that chain, you better cop a vest. You want the check, but can you make it stretch? Took so many years, I'm just waiting for the wins. I'm in debt to no one but the one who took my sins. I do it for real, there's no reason to pretend. If I do it once, I do it again. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me, or you matter what. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me, or you matter what. Told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up. Matter what? Told you I'ma do me, why you hating on me? It's not adding up. I do roll like a Mack truck, country heart, I might cop a farm and go act up. Lot of scars, I was cold-hearted, now I'm back up. Keep it real, I do this once a month, I don't rap much. I just take the money and go stack up. Only buying car to get tatted up. All that other bull, it don't matter much. You only climb me, I put the ladders up. No fault. I done doubled up on the workload. I think I fell in love with the bankroll. Pray up, get money, then we lay low.
The voice of Master Chief, Spartan 117. And you're tuned in to Next Podcast. Now, wake me when you need me.
I'm just saying.
Oh, and on that note, yo, what is going on, everybody? It is Thursday night. It is prime time. And you know what that means. The Next Podcast, Season 5, Episode 2 is live here for you guys. Yo, shout out to the chat. What is going on? And the blasphemous words that are coming out of the Angry Otter's lips. It is
I'm feeling feisty tonight.
I see that.
It is a heck of a way to start a show. And speaking of a heck of a way to start a show, that is right, people. It is my pre-birthday show. The reason why I'm saying pre-birthday is because my birthday is Saturday. And unfortunately, it landed on a work weekend. So I have to work Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. I'm probably not going to do a whole hell of a lot. So
we would hope not, because your ass don't believe in Christmas or holidays.
I do birthdays.
So is your birthday considered a pagan holiday then?
No, it isn't. It is. It is
so
a Christian holiday.
You accept gifts on your birthday.
And not only that, but I also give gifts on other people's birthdays as well. Don't try to make it one-sided, K-Mega. Don't you dare.
I don't even know.
Don't you dare.
Man,
but yo,
man,
shout out.
Slander going
shout
on.
out to Mizzle T Shizzle. My brother hit up the super chat. He says, happy pre-birthday bot. The super chat works. The show is gonna be fire. That is right, bro. That is right. You have been here time and time again, week after week. You know what goes on here on Next Podcast. Definitely appreciate that. Thank you for the pre-birthday super chat. I really, really do appreciate it. Guys, we got a hell of a show. We got an interesting mix of topics, man. There is a sprinkling of something from everywhere within the gaming community. I can't wait to get into it. We got to get into the introductions first, and I'm going to start with the man who has been here with me from the beginning, and
And won't be here that much longer. Keep going.
but he is coming live from the 405. That is right. It is K Mega himself. What is up, bro?
What's happening, everybody? To be back as usual. You know what I'm saying? I always got to give my brother Xbox some grief. You know what I'm saying? He's practically like family. He's I put him in the same category as our dog Briggs. So it is, you know what I'm saying?
Hold on.
Love. Anyway, got him a nice little play area, you know what I'm saying? Clean, keep him clean, wash him every once in a while. And then just let him run off. He'll come back.
Oh, you don't wash me. You don't wash me. I'm just saying, I could do all that myself.
I personally wash it.
He licked himself clean.
Have we entered the car wash? That's the question.
Anyway, but no, it's good to be here, man. Let's go on with the topics, man. I was going to stream the other night, and I apologize because I told people when I was after Devin the Gamer I was going to stream Wednesday, but my wife wanted to check out the Eternals because that was on Disney Plus, and I have to say we really enjoyed it. I thought it was really, really good. I know there's some people that's talked about it and told me how they felt, but I
haven't watched it yet,
together.
So don't say nothing. But I haven't watched it yet.
The only thing I will say is that now, I've always kind of been reluctant on how they would do Galactus. If they would ever have Galactus to be an enemy, they could pull that shit off for sure now. But other than that, yeah, man, let's get going, man. Nice. Good to be here.
Nice, bro. And I actually I like to put on a movie or something like when I'm going to bed at night. So I saw bits and pieces of the movie, and I'm gonna go back and I'm
so we can have dreams about it. I'm
gonna rewatch it again. But the parts that I seen,
Selma Hayek, yeah.
The parts that I've seen so far were it's definitely different. It's different than your typical kind of like MCU superhero movie, but it definitely looked interesting. And I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna check out the whole thing. Yo, shout out to Disney Plus, man, just giving me content, bro. The same way that Game Pass does when it comes to my video gaming.
That hurts the video.
Shameless plug.
All right. Well, next on the list, we're gonna stay up here in New England, and bro, I hope you're prepared for Saturday because we're gonna get hit with Sub-Zero wind chills again. It is the man that suffers in the New England weather with me, my brother Crispy Bomb. What is up, bro?
Oh man, I mean it was really nice today, but I know like
it's coming.
Shit's gonna hit the fan it's real quick.
Yeah.
So it is about to come, but at the end of the day, I live in New England. I've dealt with it my whole life. You got to deal with it. Get a humidifier if you live in New England, by the way. Get a humidifier, at least a room humidifier. I have not had this long, especially in these bitter cold for the past like 4 to 5 days, where I don't feel like anything's like dry, which is kind of nice. So sleep with a humidifier. I'm telling you. Great thing. Awesome topics, by the way. Really like them all. Gonna get into probably some serious stuff for some people on certain topics, but it is what it is. Let's get into it.
Nice. I'm actually I'm really excited about the Undead Labs topic because I'm gonna take that to a certain place. I'm gonna ask you guys when it comes to State of Decay 3, what do they need to do in that franchise to kind of push it forward and really get you to like get in there and spend quality time on the next iteration. But that's going to be for the topics. Now, I do have to go to the West Coast. This man, as you heard, he's feeling feisty. The Angry Otter himself is here. Dark Optimus, what is up, bro?
What's up, man? Happy to be here. I'm not feeling feisty, dude. I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
You said it
put words in
yourself.
my mouth. You put words in my mouth,
You
and I
said
don't
it
like
while
it.
we were live. Like,
we
All
have
right, thanks for
proof.
checking in.
We
I'm still
have
a piece of
proof.
garbage.
It's like, dude, we have proof of it, man. I don't know why are you trying to sway the chat, man. What are you doing?
what are you talking about?
I don't know, dude. Half the time I don't even know what the fuck comes out of my mouth. It's ridiculous.
Mostly.
Wow. Wow. Yo, what is up, Callie? Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. I guess people are getting word here that it is the pre-birthday show. Yes. But brother, yo, Dark, it is always good to have you on. And
For
in
sure, man.
honor of you, any of the gameplay that I put on for tonight's show is all single player, brother. All
Right.
single
That's
player
right.
for you. Next
Single
on
player for life.
next on the list, coming from the Lone Star State, and as you can hear, he's in his typical mood tonight as well. So you're gonna hear little whisperings when people are talking, stuff like that. You're gonna have to go back and be like, yo, what did he just really? Yeah, he just said that. Of course, it is Predator. What is up, brother?
Not much, man. I've been busting my ass at work the last couple of weeks, so I've been cutting out the show kind of early. But I'm actually rested and ready to go today, so I got time to talk shit to Dark and his.
So he's
Nice.
gonna talk for about another 30 minutes before he takes his old ass to bed.
Invader, what is up, bro? Well, it is good to have an energized and rested Predator, especially with the topics that are going on. And speaking of topics, before we get into it, I wanna throw a shout out to Bungie, to Halo 3, and kind of like the legacy that game has left, because today was the official day that they shut down the multiplayer servers for Halo 3. And I just want to see anybody on the panel. You got anything to say about Halo 3, any experience or anything like that? Because it is basically the end of a legacy when something like that happens. And I gotta say, shout out to Xbox for keeping the servers up for so long, knowing how popular the game was. They could have easily, when they came out with Halo 4, when they came out with Halo Guardians, they could have easily shut down these servers and just kind of kept it going and moved forward. But they realized with the player base and stuff like that, that people, they even made the Master Chief Collection, and they still kept the original 360 servers going. Anybody want to say anything about Halo 3? No?
No, we moved on to Halo,
Yeah.
whatever the fuck we're playing now.
Halo Infinite, Halo Guardian for life. Hashtag save lives.
Wow. Okay. Well, I will let you guys know that when it came to Halo 3, I wasn't necessarily I wasn't as much into the multiplayer at that point in time as I was with Halo 4, Halo Guardians, and now Halo Infinite. I remember it more for the campaign and finally getting a conclusion to that story, and it was such an awesome story. And again, shout out to Bungie and Xbox. Not only maintaining that legacy, but keeping the servers up for so long for people who faithfully played that game up to this day. Faithfully played that game. So shout out to Xbox for that.
I wish K Mega still had that violin fucking music when you were talking. That would have been perfect. It would have been perfect, dude.
Oh, I got it. I just didn't know. I didn't know if that was what you call it though. But yeah, you talking about? Hold on.
Yeah. All right. Well, check this out. Since I threw a little something in there about Halo 3, let's start with the first topic, because there are Xbox gamers out there. They're out there on social media, and they are expressing anger when it comes to Halo Infinite. And I see more and more people talking about this. This is becoming more and more of a thing. Basically claiming that Xbox is forcing crossplay when it comes to the Halo Infinite multiplayer. Now, I do want to say when it comes to ranked, um, the ranked matches, the ranked modes, you can pick playing against controller, or which is it's single duo playing against controller, or you can play against mouse and keyboard, or the mixture of the two. But people are saying that they are just basically forcing console gamers to play with PC gamers. Um, and again, when it comes to the ranked, you can pick, you know, in terms of the controls, who you're going up against or whatnot, but you're still going to be going up against a mixture of PC, console, and cloud gamers. Now, let's go to K Mega first on this one. K Mega, you know, Phil Spencer came out and said that he wasn't going to force anybody to uh, play games multiplayer. Like if you're on a controller, he's not going to force you to go mouse and play against people with mouse and keyboard and stuff like that. Now, in ranked in Halo Infinite, you can pick going up against controllers, but everything else, there are no kind of like there are no settings or anything like that. You're just playing against anybody who is in there, regardless if it's mouse and keyboard, if it's controller. What do you think about the community coming out and bigger and bigger like groups of people, and they're talking about forced crossplay and how they want the option to cut that off?
The only thing that I look at is was the ranked situation, and if you have the option in ranked, then there should be nothing the gamer should be complaining about.
Oh
let's
my
not forget-
God, you changed your tune, bro. I have to say it.
No. I've always had that. I've always had that stance. Like, I mean, ranked. I don't. I'm not. That's. You should let me finish. Ranked. I guess if there's people that's having issues or anything like that from that standpoint, and if they don't want to do that, then that's fine. But me personally, I don't have a problem with any. I'm not going to ever turn it off. I just got finished beating Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Really good game, actually. Man, I was not expecting Valhalla to be as good as it was. But I came in and I was like, man, let me get a little Halo in. I'm kind of late on the samurai content. And I said, I'm going to get wrecked. I came in there and I get in there, was me and Don was here just having we're just talking, and I was kicking ass. It was just one of those moments, like I always say, Halo giveth, Halo taketh away. You'll have, I promise you, the next time that I'll play Halo, I'll probably lose every match and probably be in the negative. But I dominated. I played for like 6 hours straight. I mean, I just ripped it. So I'm playing PC people and I'm playing console gamers. All this stuff with people. I mean, I'm used to it of also playing against PC gamers on when I'm playing my fighting games, when I'm on fight night. And listen, the last fight night that I had last week, it was just strictly on the Xbox, and I got wrecked. Now I ain't do anything for fight night for about almost a month, but I still got wrecked. And it was just nothing with console gamers. It is just how the moment when you jump in and when you play, yes, there are cheaters, but there's cheaters everywhere. Let's not forget that there was cheaters playing COD and there was no crossplay.
Yo,
this is
K-Mega,
the one thing.
Oh my God,
hold
I'm
on,
going to lose my mind.
K-Mega, when
That's
you're
fine, you
talking
can lose
about
it.
cheaters, I will let you know that I actually had a situation in Halo Infinite. Now, out of all the matches I have played, this was the most blatant one. And this has to deal with PC, because there's no other way that they can cheat this way without being on PC, because they were using wall hacks. There were literally two guys on the other team. I think they were partnered up together. They had to be on PC. They would literally they would jump into rooms already angled to look at you with their weapon. Like it was absolutely horrible.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've been in matches which seems pretty suspicious. I'm not going to say I haven't, but okay, like for the other night, when I was talking to making my point, I was in there and I was complaining to Don. I'm like, oh, now these dudes is on another level. This is something wrong, right? And it felt wrong, but all of a sudden, me and the randoms that I was playing with, we figured it out. and it was the stronghold. It was a stronghold, and we went through and we were getting our ass kicked. I mean, it was like 100 and it was 230 to our 104. And I'm like, man, this is crazy. And they were just you could just tell that there was this thing, the way that they were scoping, the way that they were shooting, the movements, everything just seems, it was just didn't feel right. We came back and we won that 250 to 240. We figured them out. And when we did it, and then I was thinking I was going to be like, I don't know, like 32 and 12. I had 34 kills and 19 deaths. So again, it's all about knowing if you play the game enough, the one thing about a cheater that it's the cheaters do not get skilled enough unless they're playing for money or something, and then that's a whole different situation. But the cheaters in these games aren't skilled enough to know how to manipulate or how to flank or how to do. They just know what they know. If a person that is skilled, that plays a certain game the certain way without cheating or doing anything, they're always going to beat that 9 times out of 10. The cheater will get their opportunity and they will win, and there will be people quit. But the point of the matter is that it's one of those things where, to me, it doesn't matter who I'm playing against. I played in COD, and there was cheaters then on the 360. On the console, I played Battlefield, and there was cheaters there. There was no crossplay.
Back then, it was rapid fire, though. Okay, Mega, like that was the biggest.
But is that not cheating? But is that not cheating?
Yes, of course it is.
Okay, so again, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter if there's going to be people that wants to cheat, regardless if there's on the PC or if it's going to be on console. It's just the way that it is. There's always going to be cheaters. So, look, if people want that option, fine. I'm not going to ever turn it off because I just like to play the game. Ranked and I said this about Gears when I said, like, when it comes down to when people want to have their rank and this is how they want to play, then go ahead and make those choices for the gamer. But for everything else, I'm not tripping about it. Like, gamers forget that they asked for crossplay. They've been wanting this. So now all of a sudden, now they're trying to tell everyone, well, I don't want it anymore. No, you know what?
I know consistent. Adamantly, I'm one of the people that was always like they should give an option to turn it off.
But you know what I'm talking about, Bob. We've been doing this for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the people have been clamoring for this. This is what's it about. And for me, these type of, I'm all about cross-gen, cross-play, cross-save. I want it all because I want to have the option to where I can play with my friends just want to play on their PlayStation or play on their Nintendo or play on the PC. I would love that. And that also gives longevity to certain games, especially like fighters and racers and certain shooters that aren't as popular. I just want to have that option to play with friends who may not want to have an Xbox or don't want to, that wants to just play on their primary console, and we could just play together. I'm sure that there's people that's doing that on top, that's playing the latest COD right now, Vanguard, and I guarantee you that they've cut that, they cut it off, and they may have only just kept it to where it's you're just going to get to other console players, and I guarantee you that there's a console player that's cheating somebody right now. It's just part of the way things are. The one thing that they need to do, and my last point is this: they need to put better preventive cheating software in these games, so these things can, and then also hit people very, 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 very hard. If they get caught cheating in any way, shape, or form, they would have to prove, you're done. And then they also, if like, let's just say there was a misunderstanding, then they have to prove it. And I understand that sounds harsh, but that's the only way that you're going to nip it in the bud.
Guilty
just not playing against you, you're still
going to. That doesn't make any sense.
No, he says if they prove that, if it's proven that they are cheating, even to the point where they can look at the location of the console, because I know a lot of people. They'll put in a new gamer tag.
You're
You know what I'm
talking.
saying?
You're talking that crazy DRM talk right now.
Yeah,
Like
well,
I'm not down
well,
for that.
listen. This
Like,
one thing I will say. I hear what K Mega's saying about cheating. Cheating
Mm-hmm.
is in every game and stuff like that. What I will say, when you open the door to PC and you start getting the wall hacks and the aim bots and stuff like that, that takes away a lot from your experience. If you're in there and you're playing on console and you're just trying to be the best player you can be and trying to get you're trying to do what you got to do, the whole wall hacks aimbots things are absolutely ridiculous, and it's stuff that I would, when they were talking about it, I was like, they need to give that option to shut off crossplay if people don't want to deal with it. Now, they say that, in mid-February, they're coming out with an update in terms of like tracking cheaters and shutting them down in the game and all that good stuff. Well, that's mid-February, and the only issue I have with that is cheaters have never really been kind of like wrangled up in the PC space to a certain extent, because what happens is when software comes out to kind of point out cheaters or whatnot, because PC is open platform, they just make different aimbot software, different wall hack software that's not detectable by this software that they're putting into the game. I almost feel bad for developers when they put their games on PC, just for the fact that there is the potential to have a whole like a huge like cheating community that will just evolve over time. They put in this software, they're going to go to this software that's not detectable or whatnot. And that's the thing about open platform. Having an open platform that you game on, you are going to get people creating software that does this type of stuff. But Crispy, I know you were chomping at the bit, man. Dive in on this topic. What you got, bro?
well, I actually posed the rapid fire question to K Mega for a reason. Number one, if you
And also,
take
it
out
wasn't just the rapid fire; it was also the little thing,
listen,
dot
listen,
thing
listen,
that you could
listen.
put on the screen.
No,
on the
listen,
TV
listen,
screen.
listen. Just listen to me for a second. Okay. So you take that type of cheating, quote unquote, okay, and you go and say, if we take out the algorithms and all the coding that these people do to make an actual cheat inside of a game, there are a few things you have to look at. Number one, if you just take that out of it, you're looking at peripherals, mouse and keyboard, elite controller, a
I have an
regular
Elite
Xbox controller, okay, all of these different variables. And then you go and say, okay, so think about the rapid fire. Think about that for a second. All right. Technically mechanical in some way, shape, or form. It's within the controller. You understand what I'm saying? I've seen people use it. I've used it because they had it in front of my face. Technically within the controller. Well, if I have an Elite 2 and somebody has a regular Xbox controller, am I cheating? That's the first question I ask. The second is, somebody learns how to play Claw in Gears of War 5 and actually out wall bounces anybody with an Elite controller. Are they cheating?
No, that's skill. That's skill right there, because they learned
But
a new way of doing it.
But if we really look at it full on full, okay, and I also want to bring up the point that it did exactly what Gears did and people trashed it. Competitive, okay? Competitive, ranked, whatever you want to call it, is what you choose. Okay? And that's the point I made almost 2 years ago, if not longer, 2.5 years ago. Okay? I said, Gears, the competitive, yes, you have to pick whether you want to play with PC or not. And now it's not even just PC, it's mouse and keyboard. Okay? Because you can put a mouse and keyboard in my Series X right now and it will work. Okay? So you have to look at that. Now you go on to the cheating aspect. Well, you can pass through the Xbox. Okay, you can easily do that. I have looked it up. All right, you can pass through the Xbox and you can put all the algorithms, all the coding that you want into your PC, and it will pass through the Xbox. You can use your PC, your monitor, and everything else. I've seen people do it. So I don't know, dude. Like, it's one of those things, like, you can see a cheater a mile away. I've done it many times, but at the same time, sometimes you just might be wrong.
You know,
And it might be somebody that learned Claw from when they started playing that game.
Crispy.
And they learned it and they made it perfect.
Well, Crispy,
that's where I question myself. You know what I'm saying? I question myself.
Well, Crispy, I do have to say that there's been many times I've been in parties with people and people were like, "Oh, this person's cheating, that person's cheating," and I've come up against them in the round that we're playing and stuff, and I was like, "No, like I took care of them, no problem or whatnot." So I can see what you're saying, where some people are like, there's a lot of people that are quick to say, "Oh, that was a cheater. Oh, that was a cheater," and instead of just being like, "Hey, I had a really bad round that round."
I mean, let's be honest, Bot. It's so easy to complain about now. It's not when I was growing up, and I mean, I just learned Facebook like a month before. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, "What is Facebook?" And it wasn't what it is now. You can do almost the same things on Twitter that you can do on Facebook. Same difference. You can do the same things if you want to. So, these things are so easily learned. You can go on different platforms and express your opinion. And then it turns into this big, bold, like, statement. And it's like, it really isn't. If you analyze what that person's saying, it makes zero sense, dude. I'm like, have you played games? Do you play Fortnite? Did you go back to Fortnite? You're playing a first-person shooter. You're playing online. You're doing whatever. Did you go to Call of Duty? Did you go to Battlefield? Do you not feel the same way? Because I've seen it happen. All right? Is it cheating or is it just skill? Because I know the difference from both, but I don't feel a lot of other people do. They just are like, "Nah, he beat me. He's cheating," and I don't like that shit.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I hear you on that.
Have some competitive, dude. I've got my ass whooped, and I went back to the next freaking match, and I have whooped their fucking ass.
You're just hoping. You're
know what I'm
hoping that
saying?
your next match you get matched up with that same team again. It's like,
Yes.
no, I'm gonna
Dude,
tear
and I
them up
played
now.
PC, I played whatever. Dude, I've made PC players look like fucking like under the fucking prison, dude. Like just 6 feet under, dude. They were done immediately. Okay? But also they made me look bad. But I'll tell you right now, one thing you got to think about is that if you're going to compare what Xbox has done and what they have done now, Halo is a different game. Halo has a lot more precision involved than just kind of luck at times. And Gears does have a little bit of luck involved. And you have to know how to wall bounce. That's not the same as using a mouse and keyboard and pinpointing somebody's head. You understand what I'm saying? It's not the same. So I think that's why Gears, like, I mean, it was just 6 months ago they finally just said, okay, everything's open, and none of the Gears community is saying anything. We would just want more people to play. That's all we want. But Halo's starting, on the right foot as far as competitive at least.
Mhm.
But that's what Gears did, and I hate that people are agreeing with it that disagreed with it 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it makes total sense. Like, you have to have a huge player pool for like social events. Like, you have to be able to meet people. That's what the whole point of social is. Like, you might end up playing with a PC player that has your back and does everything. Like, that's the beauty of it. But the competitive, you choose. And I think that's perfectly fine. There's no reason to hate that. Absolutely not.
Okay, I got you, bro. And like I said, like I had one run in that was just blatantly they were using wall hacks or whatnot. But other than that, pretty much any other round I've been in, there was nothing that absolute blatant. But the community is kind of like screaming out there. Again, it is the Halo community, so take it with a grain of salt. I've been a part of this community.
The same Halo community that hated rec packs?
Yes. Oh,
Same Halo
rec
community that hated rec
packs were
packs?
so
I'm just
good.
saying.
In
Dude, it's same
comparison
thing
to
for
what's
Gears,
going
bro.
on
Same
now,
thing.
in comparison to what's going on now, rec packs were absolutely incredible. All right, and you know, anybody who talks shit about rec packs, how are you feeling right now? That's
Dude,
all I gotta say.
that's what I feel about Gears 4, bro. Gears 4 had some, dude. I have so many skins in Gears 4. Like, dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, just, the louder ones sometimes are the most idiotic. That's the way I look at it.
Yo, shout out to Lady Foxfire in the chat. First off, she is loving all the Gears talk that is going on right now, Crispy. And she hooked me up with a piece of birthday cake in the super chat. Thank you so much, Lady Foxfire. That is right, people. This is my pre-birthday show. It is my birthday Saturday, but I will be working. I will be working 12-hour shifts all weekend long. So this is my pre-birthday show. Thank you so much. If you guys want to support the channel, you want to support the show, you can always hit up that super chat. You can always become a member. There are so many things you can do to help support this channel, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Yo, Predator, what do you think about this call here? This forced crossplay. Do you think that's what's going on? And do you think that they should give an option to turn crossplay off in general in Halo Infinite?
Oh man, so I'm kind of torn with this because I play on PC with a controller. So
Well, then people are getting a different perspective right now. It's great.
So I I don't really experience the cheating. I'm not looking for it when I play games, right? I don't sit out here and call everybody out because I get my ass kicked, especially when I'm playing on PC with a controller. I kind of expect to get my ass kicked, but there's plenty of times I kick someone else's ass too. So like I call it what it is. Like either I just suck at the game or I just need to get good. You know what I'm saying? So I don't just say, oh, they're cheating. Like I play with people on Xbox playing like Battlefield or Call of Duty, and the first thing they want to chime out when they're getting their ass kicked is, this guy's cheating. Report him. I'm like, he's not doing anything. Like he's just kicking your ass, dude. Like just do it. The thing is, people's competitive nature goes into effect, and they think like they're better than everybody else. They're really not as good as they think they are, and so they have a hard time understanding that like this guy's just better at you at the game. Like there's nothing wrong with that.
Have you ever had to say that to somebody in your parties? Like maybe they're just better
dude,
than
he's
you.
not cheating. You just suck. Yeah, like you suck, dude. Like you had 4 kills and fucking 15 deaths. Of course, it's not them, it's you. Like, I mean, and I have games like that all the time. I play like that. I'm like, man, I fucking got my ass kicked this match, and then I'll turn around the very next match and fucking like 15-1. Like so, like it's just the match sometimes. It's the map. It's like we've come up with. I think Crispy and K Mega kind of alluded to a couple of different things too. But here's another thing. Maybe the game is fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was playing Battlefield when it first came out, I'm like, I was getting my ass kicked on PC. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? Come to find out, the hit detection was all fucked up in the game. And it wasn't anything like they weren't just beating me because they were just better than me. They were beating me because I could not hit a fucking target. And that's why I was getting my ass kicked. And I was looking, like you look at the replay of like, I shot this guy in the face and he's not dead. And then come to find out, the hit detection was all fucked up in the game. And once they fixed it, I was great. I was fine at it again. You've seen some of my gameplay before. I'm like, but I've got gameplay before. I didn't share with you guys. I'm just getting my ass reamed. I'm like, what the fuck am I? I'm shooting this guy in the face. And he's not dying. So sometimes the game's just jacked up. I remember like when I was playing Ghost Recon back in the day, old school Ghost Recon. I had this camp spot, and it was like amazing. It was like if anybody knew I was there, like I mean, they would have easily killed me because it was like right in the open. I hid behind this fucking forklift. I had a silenced MP5. It was a night map. No one can see me. They would just run right past me and kill them, and they wouldn't know where I was at because they didn't have a kill cam in the game at the time. So like they had no fucking clue where I was at. I'm racking up kills. I'm killing some people so much I have to kill myself so I can die and reload to get more ammo. Like it was that bad. And so at the end of the match, they're like, "You're a cheater. You're a cheater." I said, "Man, dude, put me on your team. Let's do the same map, and I will show you what I was doing." And once they saw what I was doing, they're like, "We are so fucking stupid." And it was something so simple. It wasn't that I was just good at the game. I just found a good spot to hang out at and fucking start my fucking campfire and marshmallows, and I was fucking their ass up the whole fucking match, But and I mean, it's just sometimes it's just that way. You just suck at the game. someone has a good spot to get in. And of course, there are cheaters out there. There's people who know how to play the game better than you. There's people who know every little nook and cranny of places. They study the maps and stuff like that. But there are cheaters out there, and there's nothing. I mean, like, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with cheating in the game, but like, if people see that, especially developers see that shit going on, then that's their job to kind of fix that, right? Like, someone reports this guy, it isn't as easy as saying, "Hey, we're going to kick this guy and ban him." Like, no, fix the map, fix the game, fix what they're doing, so they won't do it anymore. We'll find, and I mean, especially the PC guys, they're going to find a way, somehow to fucking do something stupid, like. But like, I personally, I wouldn't do that because I like the competition. I want to play the game the way it's meant to be played without having to do all this other shit. And like, I think Crispy said, like, if you get a Elite controller, is that cheating? No, it's not cheating. Anybody can buy a Elite controller. You're just buying better shit than someone else has. It's like if you're racing cars in the streets, like if you buy better shit to put in your car, you kick everybody's ass. It's not your fault. You got money to do that shit.
That is a
Like,
comparison I have not heard anybody say. I can see you buy a bigger turbo to put into your car. I mean, it's a bigger turbo. Like,
yeah, you just got a better car. It's just faster than the fucking stock shit you bought. Like, everyone has an opportunity to buy an Elite controller, but not everybody has the opportunity to buy a PC, build it, and then put fucking software on it so your game's better. That's cheating. Like, if everybody has the same, like, the same, I guess, possibilities and opportunities as everybody else. Like, again, I ain't knocking on someone being broke, can't buy, a fucking Elite controller, but they're in the stores. You can buy one. Like, they're made for the game, they're made for the system, they're made to play for that game. So that's not cheating to me. However, if you're purposely going out to modify the game, that's cheating. Like you got better shit than somebody else. Like, okay, so should I play? I got a 3080 in my PC. Should I only play with people who have a 3080? I got a nice ass fucking monitor with like better refresh rate. Should I like only alter my shit where I can only play with people with 23 frames per second refresh rate? Like, I mean, like, that's not fair. It's not fair to everybody else. Like,
I was going to say that too, Brad, was just like not on the monitors, but just on TVs. Remember, there's TVs out here that can pump out 122.
One millisecond, a fucking
right.
FPS, like.
And the new TVs that's going to be coming out, the ones I'm looking at, they're going to do 244. So I mean, like,
my bad, I got better shit than you, but like, I mean, that's I'm a competitive gamer like that. Where I want the best software.
Better shit than you.
Like, fucking dude, go buy a fucking new TV. That's my fault. You got a fucking CRT, fucking 60 frames per second, fucking fucking bullshit ass fucking TV TCL. Like, that's not my fault. Like,
dude, I have a TCL. I have it. It's 4K.
Why you gotta hate on Bot's TV?
Yeah.
Well, because Bot before he got his Series S, he was like,
because Bot got a TCL.
Bot was playing on the TCL.
You got a what, Bot?
I got a TCL now, yo. Shout out,
King David, bro. Where you at, bro?
Yo, shout out to Yobi. Yobi hooked me up with an LG a few years back, and unfortunately, the screen went on it. And because I am the one who pays the bills in the house. It's just me and my son, and like, I hate spending money on me. So I was just looking for a deal on a 4K with HDR TV, and
because you want to see the difference, right? Remember when you got your Series S, and you came up from the 1X. And what did you have before? Because you went from like, you had like the old school shit for a while. We were making fun of you for a minute.
Oh yeah, no. When I got my 1X, because I was talking to people about super sampling and how like the games look really good on a 1080p television. And of course that, we had the Don on the show and everything like that, and all you guys used to mess with me about the whole super sampling. Like, man, I have no idea what I'm talking about because I never played the game in 4K. And then come to find out, when Yobi hooked me up, again, shout out to Yobi for this, because that was absolutely incredible. I stood at the door speechless when I saw that box being delivered, and I'm like,
he shed a tear.
My goodness, man.
Yobi, he shed a tear. He shed a little tear.
It was the HDR part of the 4K HDR television. It was the HDR that really blew my mind when I
So my question to you is, when you got that 1S and you came up from the 1X, were you like, holy shit, I actually am better at this game than I could have been just with the system alone? You were able to see things differently. You were able to like,
You took
You
it was
can
a
way
little
see
bit
too
things
long,
faster.
clearer from further distances away,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Yeah, there was
Yeah.
definitely.
So like you know, the system made the game better. So like, but the thing is, like, I'm not saying you sucked before that or anything like that, but like you had an opportunity. Like that box was available for you at some point in time, whether you could pay for it or not. It was there in the store at some point. So like I'm not going to be sorry that I could afford a Series X, and you know, like people were still playing on the 1X. Like, okay, I'm not gonna
Dude,
backtrack just to play for
dude,
you, make you feel better.
play one of your favorite games with Elite Series 2, but you have to know it and learn it and map it the way you want it.
Yeah.
And a Series X on the games that you like.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
When I first got
The
an
ones
Elite
you already
controller,
know, oh my god.
when I first got an Elite controller, it took a long time for me to like master the
Well, you have to
paddles
remap
on
your
the back.
brain, dude.
Yeah, the
You have
paddles
to
on the back.
remap your brain.
But
You know what
once
I mean?
I did,
be like,
once I
no, I
did with
can't
the
do
hair
that.
triggers and then the paddles on the back, uh, definitely there's an advantage there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yes, that's
saying?
what I'm saying. Like, that's why people are getting mad for nothing. Like, it's already there. It's been around for a while now. You're just not seeing it. And like I said, I've had many people that play Claw that absolutely destroy me. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, the whole like spiel about, you know, peripheral and everything else, it's like, okay, if you're talking about cheaters, you're talking about cheaters, but you can cheat in so many different ways at this point. Like, you're talking about people that are messing with the code of the game or something like that. You know what I mean? The people that, you know, you generally deal with are the ones that maybe have an Elite controller, or they play mouse and keyboard but don't play that game that much, or stuff like that. And it's just like, can it be even at the end of the day? Can we just say, you know what? Sometimes you're going to get your W's, sometimes you're going to get your L's. That's the way life is. Get it out of your head.
Real quick, I bring it back to Predator just for this one thing, and then I'm gonna go to Dark on this. But Pred, I asked in the beginning, should they give the option to toggle crossplay on and off in Halo Infinite? I don't think you answered that, man. Is it a yes or a no?
I'm gonna say yes, but I also think, like, at least on Xbox, isn't there a way to go into not your game settings but your profile settings to toggle crossplay off already?
I don't think so, but I've not really checked that whole thing.
There's a way to go into your. I know there is. I actually looked at it. There's a way to go into your Xbox account and you can toggle that off. Not on the console itself, but within your Xbox account. So like, it's already there. People just don't know it because it's kind of hidden in the back. You know,
I'm gonna look into that, man. I might have to make a video on the channel to show people if that is the case, and you know.
I'll look it up while you go to Dark. But I mean, I'm okay with them taking it off. But
Like
I think
the
at some
coward
point,
you are, I'll still get you though.
again, I play on PC, so it doesn't fucking bother me. So I mean,
Yo, he
Go
said,
ahead.
yo, Pred came back and said you ducking him. That's what it is, man.
No. I'm talking about the people that's going to turn off crossplay because I'm gonna catch you regardless. Because I mostly play on console, so I'm gonna get you anyway. So
I don't
when I
think
dust your
anybody's
ass,
trying.
I don't want to hear.
I don't think anybody's trying.
I don't. When I dust your
If
ass in Halo,
anything,
I don't want to hear no excuses.
If anything, they're looking for you because with that ego, your character, your Spartan's head is so big. Headshots are
Goddamn
just
right.
incredibly easy on you,
You
man.
damn right.
Just
Yeah.
but yo, Dark Optimus, what do you think about the whole forced crossplay situation? And let us know your thoughts, and then whether or not you think they should give the option to turn it on and off, man.
I mean, I'm just gonna say this. I am probably not the right guy to go to about this kind of thing because I don't play much multiplayer.
Single player guy.
Single player.
Yes, very, very much a single player kind of guy. But that's the thing. I think, just hearing from what you guys are talking about, it makes me want to steer clear of multiplayer even more now. like I'm just like
Until
I
it's
don't want
PlayStation
I
exclusive,
I
right?
just don't want to deal with that bullshit. No, even if it was a PlayStation exclusive, I don't want to deal with that bullshit. I just don't. I want to play games to have fun, and I don't feel like, to me, that's not any fun, dude. Having
So if
to deal with people doing dumbass shit online. I don't like that. I
so
mean,
if
you might,
if
because you
SOCOM
might
came
like that
out,
kind
you
of.
wouldn't.
No, absolutely not. I would not play that. Absolutely not. Unless you were like, "Hey, bro, I'm gonna get you so calm. Let's play." Then we'll play together for sure. But I'm not
Oh,
gonna
so the
go
Game
out of my
Pass
way.
model. I got you.
Right? Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll go with the Game Pass model if it was gonna come to Game Pass or something like that. Yeah, I mean, I'll play it here if it's something that interests me. But most of the time, multiplayer games don't interest me.
So
And I
what you're
know.
saying is that Game Pass, people that have Game Pass play more games. Is that what you're saying?
See, you're trying to put words in my mouth, and that's not what I'm saying.
I'm just
Trying to put
messing.
something
I
else in
know,
your mouth.
I know you're fucking with me. But
Especially trying to put
it's
something
just.
else in your mouth.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Subscribe to
It's gonna be
Pred's
it's gonna
OnlyFans.
it's
that
gonna be one of
escalated
those
quickly.
nights, huh? All right. I feel that, if I understand. I get it. I mean, I know I know you guys here on the panel. I even have friends who are just like, you don't like playing multiplayer games. Like, the fuck is wrong with you? You have no friends, things like that. Whatever it is. It's just, I don't want to deal with it, man.
Dark, you
And I
have a
don't
friend in me. You have
and
a
I,
friend in
Aw.
me.
and I don't think and I know I can jump in at any time and play with like play games with you guys, but it's just I don't want to deal with people doing stupid shit, man. It's and I don't think you guys should have to deal with it. So to answer your question, I think they shouldn't allow I think they should allow crossplay, but have an option to turn it off for sure.
I
And
mean,
they do in competitive, like it's ranked.
well, that's what
Like
Sir
they
X
Oh,
Beer
okay.
do.
said
Well,
in the
see,
chat.
I don't know that because I don't play that
Well,
game.
no,
So
that's
I don't
the
know that.
I don't play it either. I was going off of what
It's
bot said.
input restrictive when it comes to rank. You pick like
Mhm.
playing against other people with controllers or playing
Mhm.
against other people with mouse and
Because
keyboard or
you
open
can put
for
mouse and
both.
keyboard in your Xbox. I mean, you can do that now.
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
Right.
I don't want to do
if you
that.
have a serious console, you can do it.
I mean,
Okay,
I do know that keyboard and mouse is more precise and things
so
like that.
they're actually doing better than like I would expect because I thought they were doing nothing. I haven't played the multiplayer like you guys, so
What are you
just
waiting for,
hearing it,
Crispy?
I'm
You gotta
like,
get on with us, man.
oh
Yeah.
man, dude, I'll get
I
my
mean,
ass handed to me.
I've played. I mean, but I played Halo Infinite with you. I mean, the last time I played, I was
It's
playing
been
with
a
RG
while.
Viper.
It's been a while.
I was, yeah, I was playing with RG Viper, and I didn't
Since
like,
I've
I,
been
I didn't like his
here.
fucking friend on there that was saying some shit, and I was just like, dude, he's like yelling at us about like how we weren't fucking playing the game. I'm like, dude, get the fuck out of here. Like, I just shut the
Oh,
shit
one
off,
of
dude.
those. One of
Yeah,
those.
I fucking hate that shit,
You're
man.
making us
That shit.
lose.
Yeah, you're making us lose, bro. Like, get the
Yeah.
fuck out of here, dude.
Man, do that shit in rank. Shut up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
I
another
hate.
thing too is that yeah.
No disrespect to RG Viper. I like RG Viper, and he wasn't the one that was doing it.
Yeah, I'll just
His stupid ass, dumbass friend.
Another thing too is that you got to put in perspective is also people's internet speeds, and then also
Mhm.
like okay, because I can play. There's times when we play, and then like I'm playing with some people from the West Coast, and the first thing I'm thinking like, oh man, here we go. It drags me down, and then so for when I've been playing a couple of hours by myself or whatever, and then I know that I get hit up to go into to jump into a match with some other people. I don't know how that works, but
Mhm.
the performance is totally different. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
if a
I
shots
think
that
it
I can
really
land,
depends
it
on
can
who's
land.
hosting that game. Like
Right, right.
at
And
that
if you play
time.
against, yeah, and if you play against somebody overseas, that can cause.
Uh,
So it's turned to me like, you know what? Look, I'm highly competitive. I don't like to lose either, but then I also understand. Look, man, I'm 46 years old. I'm not here to join any Evo leagues. I'm here for
Right.
entertainment.
You're not
You know
here
what
to
I'm saying?
become pro. You're not trying
Yeah,
to go
no, I
pro or
mean,
anything.
yeah, no. I'm just here. I'm here to play.
Right.
And the only thing the one thing that I just want is for satisfaction is to know that I still have it. And there's times that I will get in there and I will kick ass, and there'll be times that I'm pedestrian as hell for those moments. And that's with every game. So except for single player games, because if that, how are you going to know? You know what I'm saying? But that's just a different situation. But it's nothing wrong with being competitive. And like Crispy said, and like, you're going to lose. You're going to get your ass kicked regardless. There's always going to be somebody better than you. So just suck it up, deal with it, have a good time, and stop taking it so personal. Because it's one of those things to me, like, if somebody's just better than you, they're just better than you. And sometimes if you work all day and you come home and let's say somebody is on Halo for 10 hours, for 10 hours, well, they already got more experience than you just
They
about those
already
10
developed
hours.
that sixth
Yeah,
sense, man. Like
right.
They already
And
made a full-time job out of it.
right. So that's another thing that people have to understand too. So it's like, listen, it's not all about cheating. It's just sometimes people are better. But I mean, the only thing that I would say, if you want to toggle something, do it on the competitive end. Leave it alone. If not, get the shit fixed and then start booting people. If you can truly find that these people are cheating, that's the only solution.
Well, we'll see.
But
We'll see what happens like mid-February when they bring about the software. And again, open platform. I already know the software is only going to do good
oh,
for
but
so
it's not.
long. But
Yeah.
it is what it is.
It's not.
At the end of the day, I've had very minimal instances. I've only had one instance where I'm like, you know what, those two guys absolutely are cheating, and it's kind of crazy. And my son was there to witness that as well. But out of all the rounds that I've played,
See,
it really
Bot says this shit, but he's the one that actually cheats. So I don't know.
nah. Well, I use my elite my series 2
Oh,
controller.
oh,
Oh,
oh. So
okay.
what?
Yeah, I do. I
Mm.
use it.
So if you get some kills on me and I'm using
But
just the
we're
regular
gonna go
stock,
with Predator's standpoint on that. Anybody else can buy a Series 2 Elite controller, therefore that is
yeah,
not cheating. But when you hook up a
yeah.
PC with software to literally help you gain
I
an
love
incredible
how
advantage,
Bot has to
that's
explain
cheating.
himself.
That's cheating.
He does. I
But
love it. I got him on the
It's
run. I got
like,
him
no,
on the
guys,
run.
well,
no.
real quick, I
Next
just want to
topic.
point
This is
out.
what happened.
I just want to point
Uh,
out that the game that's going on right now is Fear 2, and I gotta say this was the mech
Absolutely
level.
fantastic game, dude.
And the first time I played this mech level, my jaw was on the
Yeah, dude.
floor the
For
entire
sure.
time. Something
Yeah.
I did not expect, and so much destruction and everything. Like it's still
Such an underrated game too,
oh
dude,
my god,
man.
it was so
It's
much fun, man.
so good.
Thank you Xbox for backwards compatibility, because now Fear 2 is one of my favorite games like all time. So to be able to go back and play it, a lot of fun. But guys, let's go into something new, a new game that's being developed now. For people who don't know, Xbox within the last couple of years they acquired a bunch of studios. One of the studios was Undead Labs. Now, Undead Labs is known for the State of Decay games. Now, State of Decay 1, when it first came on the scene, just kind of blew up, man. It was that kind of like open world zombie game, kind of constructing your community type game, and a lot of people gravitated towards it. State of Decay 2, it was also popular, but it didn't. I don't think it created the same buzz that the first one did. But they are now ramping up their development for State of Decay 3. They are on a hiring spree. They are hiring all sorts of developers stuff. They are really like kind of like kicking into high gear. So with that being said, I wanted to pose the question to the panel, like, what does Undead Labs need to do to make this next State of Decay something that really becomes um an anchor in your kind of like gaming library, a game that you go back to over and over again. And I know with K Mega, K Mega, he's into big games that take a lot of time. Like he's done like the Assassin's Creeds. I will say I have been playing Assassin's Creed Origins, and so far I am liking that game. I believe I put gameplay in on that one. But I will continue to play that as well. But I'm going to throw kind of like my thoughts out real quick with State of Decay, and then I'm going to give it to the panel. For number 3, when it comes to the State of Decay franchise, I always pictured, I've been a huge fan of The Walking Dead. All right, and whenever I heard State of Decay 2, one of the reasons why I was so excited for State of Decay 2, I thought it was going to feel like a Walking Dead type game where you have that community, and you're trying to balance growing the community with dealing with the zombie threat, dealing with other threats that are around in the world, and to me it just didn't hit on that note for me. There was a lot of like building your community and stuff, but I feel like I don't know. I wanted that maybe more in the background and a little more story in terms of like moving forward, a little more kind of like story driven and stuff like that. A little more like the Walking Dead show. And so for State of Decay 3, if they do that, if yeah, you gotta maintain your community, but if you can either there's a mode where you can kind of back away from that a little bit and kind of just like, all right, yeah, we're going to get supplies, and we have to deal with these people over here, and have like a more dense kind of like story narrative to what's going on in the game. That'll be something that would keep me playing the next State of Decay when it releases, compared to what I did with State of Decay 1 and State of Decay 2. So I think you guys understand kind of like the question I'm going for here. And I'm going to start with Dark because, single player. This is a game
Good
that
luck, bro.
you can
Good
really
luck.
you can really dive into single player. So with State of Decay 3 kind of ramping up development, dude,
Love you, brother.
what would they have to do to make this game a staple in your library, a game that you just keep going back to and playing?
Don't fuck it up like they did with State of Decay 2.
Oh damn, they fucked it up.
Yeah, dude. This is like a fool me once situation. Fool me once, shame on you, or shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. And it's like if they fuck up with this game, it's over. I'm done. I'm not playing any more State of Decay. Like, I loved the first one. The first one was really good. I think there was definitely quirks to it that I think they built upon in 2, but for the majority of 2 felt empty as fuck, dude. At least in the beginning. I don't know later on, but for me, in the beginning, a game's got to hit me right away, dude. If it doesn't hit, I'm not playing it. I'm not gonna go back and play it. And somebody, people are like,
Hold on,
like,
so Dark,
like,
you're not one of those people. It's like first 10 hours of the game were a little bit draggy, but you got to get 10 hours into it, and the game picks up.
Right. Yeah, I'm not one of those people, dude. I mean, I played The Witcher 3 for Christ's sakes. I mean, I know that The Witcher 3, at the beginning, it wasn't like absolutely, an amazing game at that point.
What?
But no, hold on. Hear me out. Hold on. Hear me out.
Uh-oh.
Hear me out. Hear me out. Hold on. Wait. I know. I hit a nerve there. I almost gave him another, punch
stood
in the
up.
leg.
He's just walking around. He's walking around the room he's in right now. Like, I can't believe
I
this
know.
shit.
Actually, he's probably hobbling around in the room that he's in
Yeah,
right
right.
now.
Yeah, because I got a bad back. Yeah, so I can't be just doing a lot of fast motions. But yeah,
What are you trying to say?
I mean, but that's the thing. For a lot of people, it didn't gravitate towards them right away. for The Witcher 3. But for me, it did because of the story and the way that they opened up that game in the beginning. It was just
And
like,
he was
whoa,
balls deep.
okay. And I was absolutely ecstatic about it. And with State of Decay 1, it was an awesome game, indie game to be that to that fact. It was definitely indie. I mean, you can tell
Yeah.
like just by playing even now, you could tell like it was definitely indie, and it was awesome. Like this was like kind of one of the first zombie games that kind of like allowed you to do these kinds of things by creating a community and building it up and having these moments of time trials, where you have to get to a certain point by this certain time. If you don't, then you lose out on that character or whatever. And then two,
Permadeath.
right, two did that same thing, but then it just felt flat. It fell flat because it just didn't feel um like I think they put too much promise into two that they didn't deliver on. And it was just like, oh man, it was so disappointing. It was like, man, and I bought the ultimate edition too, like I bought the one that was more expensive, and I was just like, I felt so disappointed. Like that was a game that I was like, maybe I should have just gotten this on Game Pass, to be honest. Like I bought it. Like, and I bought it physical too. I didn't I that was back when I was like more of a physical, you know I have to have something in my hands kind of guy. Now I'm just like, I can't do that anymore because the space is just becoming smaller and smaller. But it didn't give me that satisfaction that I got from the first one. So if the third one can reiterate and kind of bring in some of the elements of the first one, but also bring in that story like you're talking about, Bot, that would be fantastic, dude. Like absolutely, like
So
that would
you see
be a
what I'm
home run.
talking about though. Like
Yeah.
like when it comes to story wise, it seemed like it
Hmm.
really wasn't focused on. There was a story in there, and there was
Hmm.
little stories with different characters and stuff like that. But it really wasn't story focused. I would say it's more building community focused more than anything else. And I kind of wish they kind of the story weighs a little heavier than building the
Hmm.
community. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I feel like with that second one, it was more about building the community and then changing. Like in the first one, you didn't have to change into a different person to get through the game. Like the second one, I didn't like that aspect of having to change different people because I started out with a military. Um, it was she was like I think she was like an army or marine. I can't remember what branch of military she was part of, but she was like a badass. And then then they kind of force you into playing as somebody else, and I was like, I don't want to play this fucking person. I want to play as this person that they gave me in the beginning that I liked. That was something that I was like, oh wow, they gave me somebody that I was surprised. I was actually shocked that they gave me somebody that I was like, oh shit, somebody who had some experience in
You didn't get the
dealing with
librarian at
combat.
first.
Stop having an orgasm, bro. Like, please.
I'm just saying that there's things about two that just need to just completely go away in three.
Mm,
Period.
that is interesting. I don't know. I'm trying to think of people who really went in and played State of Decay 2. So I'm curious. I gotta go to K Mega on this. K Mega, dude, what is your experience in State of Decay 2? And then what do they have to do with number 3 to keep you like hooked into the game for a while?
Well, okay, so I never played one. I knew that there was a lot of people talking about it, and so 2 was my very first experience. 2 was what I think a lot of problems, because I mean that came in around the same time that Sea of Thieves came about, and Sea of Thieves didn't have the content, and then that's when people were saying the Kraken was lacking and all that type of shit, right? So when State of Decay came out, it had a really cool premise to it from what I've seen, and so I'm like, okay, all right, let me go ahead and jump in, but it was absolutely broken, and that was one of the reasons why a lot of people started to slander and it backed off. Once they patched it, and so I started playing it, I started seeing the potential in it. Because also I wanted to see, because they had Ricari in it. And so I was like, I want to, play as the Ricari character or whatever. And so then I didn't really understand about the whole permadeath situation. And then when I got Ricari killed, I was like, oh shit. So
You got
I
it
said,
killed.
I'm gonna so yeah, I deleted it, and then so they did a patch for it some months later, and I went back and I started over, and so I kind of better understanding of how the game played, and then once I got into it, I was like, okay, I can dig it, and so I played a good 50, 60, 70, between probably anywhere from 50 to 80 hours into it, and enjoyed it. And what made me stop is that I got too invested into this doctor. I had her all souped up. I had her right, and I knew better because I got greedy. And so that to me made me feel like the Walking Dead aspect of it, because you're needing supplies, you need to get out there, but you're trying to do this stuff before it gets dark. And so we were given a good haul, and I was also playing with other people, so that made the experience a hell of a lot better. So they were like, let's just do one more house, and so I was like, all right, and then I said, well, I need to change my character, so I said, all right, fuck it, let's just do one more house. It's just right here. Nothing was fine. We didn't see anything else. All of a sudden, one of them big ass dudes, I forgot what they were called, the real big guys,
Like the
Oh,
Juggernaut,
the Juggernaut.
the Juggernaut comes out.
Yeah.
And so everybody runs, and I'm running, and I'm already weak because there was a horde that came, and we took out that horde, and it exhausted a lot of the stuff that I had, and then the things in that other house, there wasn't anything that I could use, and so I was trying to get away. The Juggernaut grabbed a hold of you, and the Juggernaut just rips you to shreds. And so that character, one of my favorite characters, she got killed, and it was permadeath, and that devastated me. I was so mad, so I put it down. So for me, that was like, oh man, I invested all this time, put all this effort into this character, even though I had other characters that I had, but she was vital to the existence of my home, and so that I created. So it was more the thing for me was like, shit. All right, so well, I already have somebody. I got another healer. So I do go back. I stayed away for probably about almost half a year, almost maybe a year. I was gone for a long time. Went back solo, tried to get everything back into order, go back to the house, but then everything starts tripping out because that character that I built up to kind of keep everything in check, she's gone. So now it's like me trying to start all over again, trying to build up another character, and it just didn't feel the same. And so that's when, and then at that time, I'm going hard in the paint on Sea of Thieves, and then whatever else that was out at that time. So I kind of stopped playing, and then I went back again, probably maybe a year and a half ago, because they added some more content it was kind of like a Left 4 Dead type of situation where you're guarding this area, and there's hordes coming, and you got to try to defend it. I thought that was a really fun mode, but that was it. And so for me, it was I got caught up into a couple of scenarios that I love the permadeath situation, but then I hate it. And I don't think that was the reason that kept me away. It was just the fact that it was so much work to do in the game that I was like, man, I just don't have the time to just kind of keep up maintenance of the crew. And that's what that game was. Is like, once you build a community, if you were playing it by yourself, or if you only had maybe one or two people with you, you had to meet times to link up, things like that. So that's what kept me away from it. The one complaint that I would have about the game is the game's animations, the movement. I always hated those little funky looking movements that they had when they would run and stuff like that. So hopefully with this one, they'll definitely get a better animator to work on that, because I know it was more of a lower budget type of game. But to take away the essence of what the game is would be bad. But I do agree 100% that like it needs more depth into its story, because it did have stories, but it was more like fetch quests
Yeah.
that enhanced it to the story, which was cool. But yeah, they need a
If they
little
have
bit
an
more. I think what you
overarching
guys,
story within it, that
yeah,
is something that you can kind of dedicate yourself to. You know what I'm saying? Other
right,
than
right.
just survival.
But I know what it was. Whatchamacallit came out at the time, and I bought the game day one, but that was broken. And so I'm like, I'm kind of tired of the whole zombie shit anyway. And that was Days Gone. And that was another thing where people were trying to make that comparison, because Days Gone looked so much better than the State of Decay 2. So, like, if you had, that's what a lot of people would try to say, was like, man, if you had State of, the PlayStation game Days Gone, and you add those graphics with what you get from State of Decay, then you have a winner, because then you have a more of a story type of game, the open world aspect. And then if you still keep the same things that you have within that makes State of Decay great, then you have a full-fledged winner. So now for them going balls to the wall, they're going with Unreal Engine 5. They did all this hiring. I think that's what type of game that we will get. But I don't see them taking away what made the game great with permadeath and building your communities and things like that. I just think that they'll probably add more story elements, and the game will look hellified better. And I think people will definitely give it another shot, like Dark or whatever. I that's just my opinion on it. But yeah, it was just one of those situations with me. I thought the game was solid, but it just had moments where I loved it, and then there was moments where I stayed away from it. So
Yeah, yeah. You didn't want to lose somebody else again important.
right, yeah, that hurt. That hurt me. That really hurt me. So, but that was what the permadeath was for. So
I got you. Well, it's good to hear that so far. When it comes to the whole story aspect, you guys like understand what I'm talking about, because I kind of put myself out on a limb, like said that whole thing first, and I just really wanted that kind of like Walking Dead experience. And with the Walking Dead, of course, yeah, you're surviving zombies, but you guys remember like the governor, and there was like situations like that, and they weren't just solved with like two fetch quests or anything in the in the show. Like it would take a whole season and whatnot. So like I'm
So you were
hoping.
hoping for something like where it's really not about the zombies, it's more about
about the
the
people, yeah,
the
Well, no,
people.
no, like well, have it. Zombies are a part of the world, yeah, but there are things going
Right.
on within the story. Like say you build up your community to a certain extent, and yeah, another community out there, you kind of like caught their eye, and so now you got to deal with them while dealing with the zombies as well, while
Yeah, there
making
really
sure you're
wasn't
getting
that
supplies.
in State of Decay 2, was there?
No,
no.
No.
and I was hoping for a more Walking Dead experience than what it was. I'm not saying the game was bad. I think it was low key. I think low key it graphically it looked good. You know what I'm
We all
Yeah,
saying?
know
it
what
was.
the
Yeah,
game
it did look good.
is.
Yeah.
And,
We all know what the game is. Come on, dude.
well, Crispy, what do you think about what I'm saying here? State of Decay 3, they're ramping it up. And before that, hold on, I got a super chat real quick, yo. Shout out to Arigato hitting up that super chat. Thank you so much for the support, brother. He says you can turn off crossplay in your profile, but it will take you forever to find matches because you can only play with players who did the same. Oh, that is interesting, bro. Very, very interesting, man. Yo, thank you for that. Yo, not only the support with the super chat, but to let people know the kind of like ins and outs of when you do shut off crossplay in your profile. That is very, very interesting, man. I'm gonna dive into that. I'm gonna test that out at some point in time. Not this weekend, but maybe starting Monday because I have Monday and Tuesday off. But thank you, Arigato. Definitely appreciate that super chat. But Crispy, I don't know if you tried State of Decay 2. I don't know if you're a
I did.
zombie guy. Like,
Yeah.
what do you think? What do they got to do with State of Decay 3, bro, to really get you in there as like almost like an everyday gamer?
Almost as an everyday gamer or
on
somebody
the
that
game,
likes State of
on
Decay?
their game, like, you know.
Well, here's what you do.
You gotta put gears in it.
No, asshole.
Wow.
You what you do is separate the multiplayer and the single player completely. You completely separate them. It's just like old school Halos or Gears, anything like that. You completely no. Listen to me for a second. People love the multiplayer, right? They love the multiplayer the way it is. Okay, and you can tweak that a little bit, but you can't completely eliminate it. But also, the trailer that we saw almost a year and a half ago is basically what a lot of people were excited for. The deer.
Mhm.
Yeah, remember the deer?
Yeah.
When all of a sudden it became in deer like. It was totally different.
It was
You know what I
zombie
mean?
deer.
And it was a zombie deer. See, you said it, not me.
Yeah.
But yeah, imagine that thing stalking you through the woods after you saw it like that. That's what I want to see. I want them to completely separate. They can have you can have your world building, you know, your community building, whatever. And you know what? You can kind of start getting people towards that through the entire campaign, but make it its own. Make you find a village out, you know, in the middle of the snow or something, you know, after being stalked for hours and you're exhausted. And you as a human being are mentally exhausted. You're like, man, I actually put myself through this. I'm telling you, Xbox has got some thoughts, and I believe that that's what if they're gonna do it right, they got to separate them, and you release the game with just the campaign, and then you bring the multiplayer, just like the opposite of Halo. You go and say, you know what, our campaign's so good. By the time you're done with it, you are going to want the multiplayer. That would be a smart move. Are they going to do it? I got no fucking clue. But I mean, at the end of the day, think about it. Everybody's trashing them for their single player. Start releasing games with the single player first, not the multiplayer. Focus on the single player. Just it doesn't have to be for more than 2 years. And I guarantee, you know, people's mentality will change because we all know that Xbox is going after the multiplayer. PlayStation's not. Where's that Last of Us 2 DLC that they were? What is it called?
It's
where's that?
It's
coming.
Oh, it's coming, man. You know what? Play to your strengths, but also play to your weaknesses. And I think, and I hope that if they do what I just said, I believe that State of Decay becomes something special. And keep in mind, I'm a Dying Light fan, and I can't wait for Dying Light 2. 500 hours? Oh, man, dude. No, I will overplay that. The way the movement looks and everything, I am all for that game. Like, that game is fucking awesome.
It does.
I can already see it. Techland don't fuck around. Trust me. They're not CD Projekt Red, bro. They're releasing a full game, and you watch. And I guarantee if you buy that game, I guarantee you are going to enjoy it if you like
No
zombies.
cyberpunk blasphemy here. Cyberpunk is a great game, by the way.
Yeah,
Fantastic, guys. For newer consoles and PC.
For less than 50%. I don't know. Still waiting for it to update. I'm just saying.
Game's still great without the update. I'm just saying. I mean, this is going to be more spectacular with the update. But I mean, regardless, I mean,
played it on my Series X. It's not that great.
Oh, really?
And I updated it.
Really?
Not that good.
I mean, not every game's going to be for everybody. So, I'm gonna leave room with your opinion on that. I had an absolute blast, and it's one of the few times I
didn't have no claw controls.
He had an absolute blast playing with Bilbo sticks.
It didn't have the lancer.
It was also one of the few times I made K Mega proud of me when I was like, "Yo, this game is really good." He's like, "Yo, I told you."
Sounds like you all play with the Bilbo sticks. It's okay.
No, I did end up playing with a chick inside a tank though. That was kind of crazy.
Oh man, you leave my Padme alone.
Yeah, that was like, oh, Bilbo. That escalated quickly.
Crispy, you only played an hour and a half. Come on now, stop it.
I played 4.5, asshole.
Did you just check his credentials?
Yeah, I'm saying play like
gamer tag.
No. I was just estimating. I was rounding it off.
I bet I played more MK11 than you.
Oh shit! I highly
I don't know
that
about
shit.
that.
I know. And if you did, you still ain't gonna beat me. So it's
I don't know. I beat you like 3 times in a row.
Yo,
I beat you 4. So it's what.
So
what's the problem?
No, it wasn't 4. It was 3.
So we
haven't settled this, by the way.
Okay,
we have not settled this.
Oh my!
Regardless of that, fight night. You know what? I'm going to do fight night after GRG, and then because I said I'm going to do it 2 weeks in a row. I'm really going to start doing fight night on Sundays and Wednesdays, but I missed Wednesday because my wife wanted to watch movie. So that's
you just said after GRG. So what are you doing?
GRG. So no, I'm just gonna because I promised that I was gonna do two fight nights a week. So I'm gonna do it Friday.
Well, MK11's easily it's on Game Pass. I mean, come on. You know, everybody can join. Join if you want. If you got Game Pass.
I own it day one, so go get it.
Well, real quick, K-Mega, I gotta ask you that airplane game, the gameplay.
Yeah.
Like, what was that game, man? Because it was like Mario Kart.
What's this game that you're playing right now?
This is K Mega's gameplay right here. This is greatness. You watch the True Greatness gameplay. That was called Skydrift. It's on Xbox.
And what's this one?
This is called Sword and Fairy 7. It's a Chinese developed game. This is one of these games. I like to show these type of games because these games are supposed to be slated to come to consoles as well. Like when I did the
PC only right now.
Right now, it's only PC at a particular time. But yeah, so
all right.
But yeah,
I got you.
Looks good, don't it?
Yeah, it does, dude.
Yeah, it's great.
It does, yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. Well, let's get into basically what Bloomberg announced.
You gonna skip me?
Yeah, I know. I was like,
hey!
Yo, my bad. You're so quiet, bro. You're so quiet.
I was waiting on y'all to stop talking about fucking GRG and fucking Fight Night and shit. And...
Yo, my bad, bro. My bad. That is completely on me, bro.
Years and all the bullshit.
Dude, what? Did you get into State of Decay at all?
No.
No.
I played it. It's not for me. It's like I think like how K Mega said, like he had a character he liked and he built that motherfucker up, and the permadeath was like I'm not a fan of that at all. Like I think like with a game like that, give me a story with a character or two that I really want to play with, and then if they die, they die. You know, then it makes the story even better because like I worked up so hard for this character to get to the certain point in the game, and then something happens to them and they die. Versus, oh, I died. Let me start off with a brand new fucking character and do this and do that. And build like I've never liked the permadeath aspect of a video game ever. Like I need to build emotional connection with that person, with the player I'm playing with, because like what happens when you get a State of Decay 3? You gotta start with a brand new character. Doesn't like like give me like again, this game is perfect for this. They don't do it, but it's perfect. Give me a character like okay, you said The Walking Dead. Who's your favorite character in Walking Dead?
Rick.
Rick, right? When Rick
Carl.
spoiler alert. You know, when Rick got pulled off the show, you're like, what the fuck,
I was
man?
mad.
Like,
I was mad.
yeah, like, and so like, but because you had invested all those years in that character, right? And then when he's not on there, you're like, what the fuck is this shit? Like, you know, honestly, when Rick left, I left. I stopped watching the show. Actually, like, I think the last season I watched was the season Kronk, died or whatever. So, like, I tried to watch the next season, but I knew Rick wasn't going to be on anymore, so I kind of detached myself from it from that point. But like, and I have no idea what's happened since then. So like, anything you tell me at that point is a spoiler to me. So like, but Rick was my character, right? And it's like, like it's like watching Game of Thrones, man. You get invested in the character and they fucking die like the next.
Oh no, Game of Thrones is just different. Like now, I felt Michonne was actually my favorite. I was just playing around with Carl, but Michonne was my favorite. But I feel you on that. But Game of Thrones was just different. I was expecting like, man,
someone to get axed in Game of Thrones. This happened every fucking episode.
when they did that to Jon Snow, though, I did act a fool. I'm like, with you took my Jon Snow. But
because you know what, you got invested in that character, and that's what I really would like to see from State of Decay. Get me invested in one character, right? Make the story around one person instead of like all this base camp, whatever. And like Chris was saying too, single player, multiplayer, right? Like I don't want to play. That's what I didn't like about it. I didn't like the multiplayer aspect of it, where I got to go build this camp, have people come over. Like there was times I was playing it and I didn't put a lot of hours into it, but like I'm out foraging for shit and my camp's getting attacked, and I gotta go all the way back to that motherfucker. Stop what I'm doing, go save something. I didn't get that far in the game, so maybe there's things I could have done to prevent stuff like that.
That's how I felt about Fallout 5, bro. Like it's same shit, dude.
Yeah,
like, I'm not even kidding.
I got tired of doing
Fallout
that
5?
shit.
Dang, dude.
What'd you say?
That yet.
Fallout 4. Sorry.
4. I don't know. Like I think if they just had a single player aspect of that game where it was just based off of a character, just one single player character, and you played that shit through, so you can build, a bond with that character for the next, State of Decay 3, 4, 5, whatever. Like build that up, and then I would have liked it more. Like the forging part wasn't that bad, but like when I'm playing multiplayer and I'm playing with other people, like I don't know. I was not able to get into that game. It didn't catch me. Like Dark was saying, like it took him, if it doesn't catch you within the first few hours, you're probably not gonna play anymore. That's how I felt with it. I could not get into it after like I think I played like maybe 8 to 10 hours of it, and I was like, this is not for me. I don't like this I don't know, the permadeath thing, because I kept getting people killed that I wanted to keep. You know what I'm saying? And like, I just
or having to switch characters because they're exhausted or whatever.
Yeah, they're too tired. Like, man, come on, man, I ain't got time for this shit. Like this, like let me go there, eat a fucking banana, and move the fuck on in the fucking game with the guy. Like it's like fuck, dude. Like, but I mean, like I could not get into, and this is a me problem too. I don't like games where it has that mechanic in it where you have to like eat
tend
like yeah, like you have to eat and you have to sleep and you gotta fucking rest, and like dude, like and you have to change characters because this one's I've never been like, give me one guy, let me go fuck shit up with that character and do what I gotta do while I'm not fucking shit up to survive, and I'll come back and do whatever. Like oh, you gotta rest because you're tired. Like I'll never play The Sims because of this shit. Like I can't do it. Like you gotta eat and you gotta take a shit. Like I can do it on my own. I don't play life.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what that game was reminding. Like, oh, your character's tired. He needs to go back to the base camp and rest for 4 days. I'm like, man, I can't get 4 hours of sleep. What the fuck is wrong with you motherfuckers? So I don't. So I wasn't a fan of State of Decay. 1, I never played 1. 2, like if they came out with 3, it looks like again what we saw. We probably won't get looking like that, but like. Give me those graphics, give me a single player, and if I decide to fuck with multiplayer, make it a choice of mine. But like, give me a better single player experience. Get rid of fucking permadeath bullshit, and stop with this goddamn I forgot what they call those games, the survival aspects or whatever.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? I cannot stand those games like that. Like
like Returnal and other games like that. Yeah.
like this, survival games have never been my thing.
Returnal is
So-
not like that. That's not a
That's
survival
one of
game.
well,
No,
what's it
Returnal-
called? It's called what's
Defensive.
You're talking about
roguelike.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
but,
right.
But
Yeah, you're
to
right.
say
It
the
is
case
different.
not like that.
You're right. My bad.
You're wrong.
Right.
No, I'm just kidding.
I was wrong.
Now
I
you
was
transition to the
How
next
dare
topic,
you?
boss.
How
You let
dare
me
you
talk.
say Returnal?
I was wrong.
Move along.
How dare you talk shit about a PlayStation exclusive?
Move
guy.
along.
Oh, there it is.
PlayStation PC exclusive. I got you.
Hey, Meg,
funny
is this you
thing
playing
is-
Corvus?
The funny
Yes,
thing,
sir. This
Yeah.
is me playing Corvus.
I want to play
Corvus
this.
is-
I want to play this.
What are you really going to say? Corvus is bad, bro? Have you played it?
That wasn't me. That was Crispy.
I know that. No. That's what I'm talking about.
I
Crispy.
wanted
I thought it was dark.
But you know why? You know why I didn't want to play it?
No, it
Because
wasn't me. I want to
give
play
me-
Corvus.
That was crispy.
It
Like,
doesn't- it doesn't let
you
me
gonna
use the
talk bad
flight
about
stick.
Corvus?
Made a fart noise. That's all I did.
Yeah, man.
Ah, come on, man. But I'll tell you, I think you would definitely like.
I
It's got
didn't. I did no
lasers.
such thing.
You got lasers.
It'd
You're
be like,
shooting
fuck
shit. Come
this shit,
on,
I'm
man.
out.
Oh man. Come
I was
on.
disappointed.
Well,
when
it's
I got
funny-
this flight stick. I wanted to play it, and it wasn't compatible with the flight stick. So I was like, fuck this game.
Oh, is it not? It
Mhm.
doesn't have flight stick. Yeah, it's
The part
dope.
was like,
Guys,
fuck
we
this
gotta
shit, I'm out.
please.
Controls are so good.
We gotta
I'm
please
sorry.
Dark Optimus. All right, he
Yeah.
wants to talk about PlayStation, so I think we
Let's
need
talk
to
about
talk about PlayStation because Bloomberg came out with an article saying that Sony for this next year will produce over 1 million PS4s. They're stating that it's due to the fact of the constraints of developing the PS5s right now. You know, you got the whole kind of like chip shortage thing going on and all that good stuff. Now, when I first saw this, when I first saw that they're gonna continue to make PS4s, I was like, well, you know, the games that they are coming out with this year, they're all cross-gen games anyway. And if you look at Sony's history, they don't stop making the previous generation like console for years when their current generation is going. You can look at the PS2, you can look at the PS3. They were still making those things when the newer generation PlayStation came out. So I didn't think of it as that big of a deal, but the more I did look at it, the more it was like Sony was talking about how they're all about generations this time around, and I guess you know things were gonna be different, and come to find out they kind of have to they feel they have to go back on their wording with that and kind of still produce PS4s. One of the things I was thinking is the fact that when it comes to the Series S, I think they saw how well the Series S sold for it being a less powerful but yet still this current generation kind of like hardware, how well that sold, and I think they feel that they need a lower price point at least for this year going for those cross-gen games, the God of Wars, you know, the Horizon Forbidden West and stuff like that, to get the most people to buy those games. Kind of like looking at it like, damn, man, maybe we should have made a cheaper, kind of like less powerful PS5 as well. Because let's be real here, Xbox is killing it, and they are killing it. A lot of it is with the Series S right now. I don't know how many videos I've seen on YouTube, how many people I've seen talking about their purchase of the Series S and how great this little machine is, especially for the price point.
Keep in mind, he has it, by the way.
Yes, and Dark has one, so he knows when it comes to the Series S. He knows, Dark. You know, I'm trying to make you happy here. We're talking about we're talking about PlayStation, dude. What do you think about this announcement here? That they are gonna make over 1 million PS4s in 2022. Again, they came out early in this generation saying that they are all about generations, kind of like throwing a little jab at Xbox for continuing their kind of like cross generation gaming or whatnot. But yet, this seems to be the crutch that they are falling on right now, and they I feel like this is to try to somehow combat the Series S. But what are your thoughts, man? Dark.
He just left. He said his computer froze. He'll be back in a minute.
Okay, well we'll take that and we'll throw it to let's throw it to Predator. This way, I don't forget about him on this topic. We're gonna hit him. We're gonna hit him real quick on this, man. You heard what I said. What do you got?
So when the PlayStation 5 came out, let's go back to the history of this, right? They said all these games are only going to be available on PS5. So a lot of people, me included, we got rid of our PlayStation 4s, right? Because I'm not going to get these games on PlayStation 5. Let me get this PlayStation. Let me get rid of this PlayStation 4 because I can only play them on PlayStation 5. And so now they're kind of going back and backtracking on their word on that because every game they've come out with the exception of Ratchet and Clank, has been on
Ratchet and Clank and Returnal.
And Returnal, yeah.
Returnal has been on the PlayStation 4. So now they're like, oh, and like you were saying, like they should have come out with a cheaper, smaller version of like how Microsoft did. Series X, big boy, Series S, little boy, right? And so PlayStation was like, nah, fam, we're just gonna do this one and we're gonna take the discount with the other one. And that's it. It's like the same console. So like that's where they screwed themselves up. But they didn't give people options to pick up a console. And so like, and now the console's not available. And so like to me, I thought like, they should have kept things on the PlayStation 4 and not sold it the way they sold it. As far as like these games are only coming out PlayStation 5 because they shot themselves in the foot. By A, saying that, and B, not coming out with a cheaper, smaller, different version of the PlayStation 5 instead of some big, clunky, big ass, fucking, I don't know what the fuck you call it. I think it's huge. But like, so they killed themselves with that. So as you're saying, they see the success of the Series S. It's cheaper, it's smaller, it's more compact. It does, and it's a relevant gaming system. It actually is a really good system. So, and it's fucking powerful. So like, the chip shortage was something that people talked about before all this shit started, right? Remember, people were like, "Oh, sorry." They're like, "Oh, there's not going to be enough PlayStation 5s." Remember that rumor? It came out. Now you can tell it was kind of true, like because they can't, like, you cannot find a PlayStation 5 anywhere. They're talking about supply lines. Some people, like, I guess, from what I've heard, you're not going to see the PlayStation 5, like till next year, like 2023,
like readily available, like until
next year. Like where you could actually get one. And I know COVID and stuff happened, et cetera, but like it just so now they're going to backtrack and make more PlayStation 4s, which means if they're going to keep this system relevant, that means all these games are going to eventually they're all going to come. When they make that statement about God of War coming to PlayStation 4, that should have been our cue right there. Like they're not getting rid of this system yet because like they're putting God of War. It's not even out yet. They're telling us it's coming on PlayStation 4. Eventually, Ratchet and Clank is going to make it there.
Do you think so? I think that I think they'll try to save face on the whole SSD situation.
On the whole SSD thing, bullshit. They'll be like, "Oh, this is a PlayStation 4 version of Ratchet and Clank." No,
right?
Like,
and they'll put it on PC. Yep,
and they'll put it on PC. Yeah, and that's the other thing that shot them in the foot too. Because people can't get PlayStation 5s, had they put their games on PC day and date, those games would have sold like fucking hotcakes. But they didn't do that. They were trying to push the PlayStation 5 because that's been console sales has been their moneymaker for the last generation and a half. Because that's what everybody was talking. Oh, we sold more consoles than you. We sold more consoles than you. Now there's no consoles to sell. They don't have any. They can't get them out there. So that they don't have that selling point anymore. Like, oh, we sold X about billions of consoles. Like those things are somewhere in someone's warehouse or whatever. But like, they're somewhere out there. The ones they created. But like, Where are they? You can't find one. Like I've not seen a PlayStation 5 for sale. Like even like just luckily on Amazon, not Amazon, but like on Best Buy. You know, like remember we used to get those updates on there's only PlayStation 5s. When how long has it been since you heard that? Ever.
Long time.
It's been a long time. So like they're not making them. It's the chip shortage killed them. But for some strange reason, you can still get Series X's and still get Series S's. Matter of fact, we got a custom console this year from Microsoft. So we got a Halo edition console, and we're still seeing Series S's out there. It's the same chip, right?
Series S, yeah, it's the same system on the chip. I think the shortage is when it comes to transistors. There's a certain amount of transistors, a certain type of transistor that is in like the newer systems that the Series S doesn't have to kind of like worry about. The Series S is easier to produce right now. And
I mean, I've seen Series S's in stores. Like
Xbox
recently
is looking like geniuses coming out with the Series S,
yeah. I mean, I'm seeing. I can go online right now and buy a Series S from somewhere. Like I've seen them in the stores, like regularly, like online. Like, oh, they're here. We got like 15, 20 of them. You can find one. Like they're easy to find. The X's not so much, but I've seen them I've seen them at least before Christmas come up on stores before, and it's like I don't know. Honestly, I think Microsoft just fucking went to AMD or whatever. They're like, hey man, we'll slide you a couple more cash. We need all them chips, dog. You know what I'm saying? How much you got? We gonna pay a little more for that shit. Then we want all of them, motherfuckers. Don't sell them to other people. Like I think they just undercut Sony in that aspect. They bought them all up. You know, they had the money to do it on the front end, and so they'll make the money in the back end. You know, so again, me being the business guy, that's what I would have done. You know what I'm saying? But like, I'd have been like, let me get all your shit, bro. I don't want them to have any stock whatsoever. Give me all your fucking chips. Give me all your shit. You know, and how much you want? I'll pay you a little bit more than that too. Like, cool, good, and they're good. And so like they can produce these fucking consoles for whatever reason. Whereas Sony, I don't know what the fuck's going on, but like, they're not able to do it. So I think it's almost like for everybody that was out there talking shit about the whole generation thing, we believe in generations. We're not, doing this, and like this is a definite slap in the face of guys that were fucking harping that shit. Like, because every game,
it got mad quiet. It got mad quiet on social
media.
Yeah,
every game except for 2 have come to PlayStation 4, and now I feel bad because I got rid of my PlayStation 4. I couldn't play all these other games I wanted to play, but like.
But dude, Pred, I gotta ask you, man, because if they feel this is an answer to the Series S, there's certain things that I know we have grown accustomed to, like when it comes to like load times and stuff like that, going back a generation now, like I don't see a lot of people saying, hey, let me pick up this PS4.
Well, no, look at it this way. Okay, so when God of War comes out, because this is what you're gonna run into. They got some games coming out next year. If there's no systems to play them on,
that's a good point. That's a
so they got to put something out there for people to get those games on. Like like if I want to play the next God of War, or what's coming out, Horizon's coming out, like
Horizon
Forbidden West, yeah.
Like if I can't find a console to play it on, who the fuck's gonna buy the game? That's why I'm saying they should have put this shit on PC in the fucking.
Dude, I got it. That's why Gran Turismo 7 looks like a PS3 game. I got it now because it's going cross-gen. It might be going back to the PS3 era.
Oh my god,
dude, come on, bro, come on,
man. You know what they're doing, dude? That's a Jedi. They show you the game looking like it, and then when the game actually comes out, it looks better, and you're like, oh wow, look at the advancements they made.
Oh hell no! Gran Turismo 7 looks better than Forza Horizon 5. Let's just say
you are a liar, sir. You are a dead ass liar.
I want you, Dark. I want you to lay on your back. I want you to put your legs up in the air, roll them behind your head, and suck your own dick for that.
What the fuck was that?
Dude, you could not say that with a straight face. Oh man. Well, Dark, it is good to
Wow.
have you back here.
Yeah, my
I-
computer decided to say, "Hey, you know what? You need an update, buddy."
All right. Well,
Windows is back.
you're back. I guess everything is running properly. I did try to
Yeah.
make you happy. We
On
are
my
talking.
phone, actually.
We're talking PlayStation. We're talking about how Bloomberg came out and said that Sony has decided to continue to make PS4s, over 1 million PS4s to be developed in 2022. Again, they're all about generations. I kind of posed the whole thing that I feel like they're doing this because they're looking over at Xbox's camp and they're seeing the Series S, which is a cheaper, less powerful version of the Series X, and they're seeing how well that's doing, and they feel like they need a cheaper kind of like iteration still to this day when it comes to the PlayStation games that are coming out. They need hardware out there for people to buy. That's what Predator said, which is a great point. You got God of War coming out, Horizon Forbidden West, Gran Turismo 7, and so you need hardware out there for people who don't have the PS5, and so they're going to continue to make PS4s. What are your thoughts on this? Like, why are they doing this? And again, I will point out that when it comes to Sony's history, they've done this pretty much throughout every generation. The previous generation, they still were making and putting out PS2s when the PS3 was out. They were still making and putting out PS3s when the PS4 was out for like years into that generation. But what are your thoughts on this, bro?
I don't think this is an answer to the Series S. I think this is just an answer to them not being able to produce enough PS5s for everybody. And it looks like we're probably not going to see very many PS5s this year. Maybe not until next year. Who knows when we're going to see that chip shortage kind of dissipate. I don't think that. I think PlayStation has. They already said that they were planning on keeping their PS4 around for until 2023 anyways.
Hold on. Supporting it until 2023 is a lot different than producing it, because if you look at Xbox, Xbox stopped production on Xbox Ones in 2020. That doesn't mean that they're not supporting it with the games that are coming out, but they stopped production in 2020.
Yeah, and I mean PlayStation did. I'm pretty sure that they didn't stop production of it. They just stopped putting them out in the stores. I think they kind of knew that this was going to
Sounds
come
like
down the
he's
pipeline.
on a car phone.
It does.
It's because I'm on my phone. That's why. It's because my computer is still coming up. So you're gonna have to deal with it.
He said, "Shut up and deal with it, Crispy."
Yeah, basically, shut your
baby.
fucking mouth and just let me talk. I just feel like this isn't really, and I know a lot of people who are gonna, just say, oh, this is just an answer to, Xbox, doing this and doing that. I think PlayStation's just thinking about like, well, we don't really have the chips to really produce enough PS5s for our community base. So let's put some PS4s out there, because we know that Horizon's coming out. We know that probably God of War's coming out this year. So let's just give them PS4s so then they can, play on that until they can actually get a PS5. Yeah, load times. I mean, yeah, that's the sucky part about it, is that the load times are not great on the PS4. But I mean, to me, I'd rather be able to play the game than not be able to play the game, and miss out on something that I wanted to play, but just because I couldn't get the upgraded console. I mean, luckily, I'm fortunate enough to have the upgraded console, So I mean, it is. I do feel for the people who don't have that option and who are looking to get one. And and a lot of it comes down to people buying multiple of these consoles and hoarding them and making them not readily available because they want to gain some profit, even though I haven't heard of anybody, at least not in this community, who have bought a console from a scalper. At least
there's been a
not that
couple.
I've heard of.
There's
I'm
been a
sure
couple.
there has been. I'm sure there has been. But I haven't seen anybody or heard anybody say anything about that. But it's just I think it's a good thing, but I also think that they definitely need to move away from the PS4 once they start being able to create more of a stock for the PS5.
Yeah, it's kind of it's a little bit of karma going on here, Dark, if you don't mind, because they decided that they were going to take jabs at Xbox for kind of like supporting generations. They saw social media that people were making fun of it, so they came out and they took a couple jabs at Xbox for supporting the previous generation and such. And now it seems like they feel backed into a corner where they are forced to kind of like support cross generation for longer than they had wanted to when within the launch of the PS5 moving forward.
I mean, yeah, it yeah. I mean, you're not wrong on that one. It's definitely something that I think they should have just kept their mouth shut on. They shouldn't have said anything at all.
Oh,
But
dude, Blind Man in the chat. My bad. Blind Man in the chat. Like he says something that just really popped in my head. He said, "So if you buy games for the PS4, does that mean they're still going to be $70?" Here's the thing.
Oh shit!
Here's
No, you
the
got to pay
thing.
that extra
They are going to
$10.
sell the games
that
for
extra-
$60 on the PS4, but then when people do get the PS5, if they want to play that game, they're going to have to
Mhm.
spend an extra $10 to get the $70 version.
They won't do that with Forbidden West, but all the rest of them, Sony came back and said, "Look,
Yeah,
man,
they're gonna do that with the rest of them. Unfortunately, yeah, they're gonna make you pay to upgrade. I mean,
called
I know
double dip.
I know that's the unfortunate thing about that. But I mean, it's kind of coming down the pipeline. I mean, you look at some of these other companies who are putting out that $70 price tag, and Sony's not the only one that's doing it. So I mean, and I don't even think they were the first ones to do it. It was EA and 2K who were like, yeah, we're gonna make our games $70.
Are they doing that
So
constantly? Was Battlefield 2042 $70?
yeah, they're still doing that with yeah. Now
Well,
Battlefield
I mean,
2042
if you're a
2042 is
if you're a
is
company
is
in the gaming
is
biz,
cheaper than what it
if
was
there are two
now.
companies that you would love to align with in terms of
Battlefield
perspective,
was
it's going to be
$60.
EA and
No, it
2K.
wasn't. It was $70, dude.
On PlayStation, it might have been $70, but it was $60.
I don't think so. I
That's not
think
the
it was,
version I bought, but yeah, I think it was
No,
$60.
yeah, it was
$59.99.
$60. It was $59.99.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I bought the $100 some dollar
Yeah, I
version.
bought
but
the big boy version, but
yeah,
it was
You said
$60.
big boy version.
It was $60. Yeah, so they were charging
on
that on
Xbox?
PlayStation.
On Series
Yeah.
X?
I'm checking.
Yep.
I'm gonna check. I'm checking the store.
I don't know about that,
I'm
dude.
checking the store right now.
Yeah.
I'm checking the store right now, bro.
Yeah, check that right now.
So,
Because I don't think that's the case.
Yeah, they got 3 versions. Yeah, it's cheaper now because they got it on sale. But yeah.
Well, yeah.
Let's see here. I'm going to the store. While I'm going to the store though, let's go to Crispy on this one now. Crispy, what are your thoughts about them producing more PS4s in 2022? I absolutely love what Predator said. I think that has that there's a lot of truth to it in terms of or they need the hardware out to sell even more games, and this is in my mind this is guaranteeing that God of War is coming out this year. that of course Horizon Forbidden West is coming out this year, and Gran Turismo is coming out this year because they are setting up to sell hardware to get people to buy the software to play these games. But what do you think about this, bro?
Well, I mean, let's be honest for a second. They've done this several times. It went halfway through the PS3 era before they got rid of PS2. PS1 went about halfway through the PS2 era. I don't know. Like, seems like, hey, we have a successful console. Let's keep pushing it out. And especially in the world we live in right now, makes total sense even more. So, do I agree with it after what they've said? Fuck no.
It's
Pretty ridiculous.
$69.99 on the store right now.
Yeah, it's a cross-gen bundle. Cross-gen
Yeah, the
bundle is
cross-gen bundle.
$69.99.
Look at the link I just put in chat.
You just put the link
Dude.
down.
Dude, this is the problem. Sony doesn't know what they want to do right now. They want to just sell hardware. That's what they want to do. So you look at what they're doing. They say, okay, we're going to throw $1 million out there. You know why? Because it's much easier to develop a Jaguar core rather than, the AMD, greatness that we have right now. That's what I'll call it. I'm not that, into all the things in the consoles, but our DNA, whatever you want to call it. At the end of the day, they say, hey, we can make this console for much cheaper, and it could be developed much quicker than anything we can do right now. We already have the entire, aspect of it. We're bringing out games that can be compatible with it. Why not do it? That's logical. But at the same time, it's also just Sony being Sony, and they're going to continue to sell what is going to sell. So 1 million consoles is not really a big deal because they need the revenue. Microsoft doesn't need it. That's as everybody ignores this. They just don't need it. They're $1 trillion company. Top 3 richest companies in the world. There
want
is
revenue.
no. There's a difference between wanting revenue and needing it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you look at Sony, and you know what? They are in influx right now, as I like to call it. They don't know what they really, truly want to do. They don't have a direct... Game Pass is the direct message to all the higher-ups in Microsoft. You understand what I'm saying? PlayStation right now, Jim Ryan's sitting there like, what are we doing? Are we going to PC? Are we going to day and date, PS Now? Are we going to do this? Are we going to do that?
Oh,
For some reason,
they're getting ready
they
with the
don't.
whole PlayStation Now thing because they're pulling PlayStation Now cards.
But
out of
you
stores.
can also be your own enemy and just continue to put out so many different narratives that people just don't pay attention. You put out one, like Microsoft has done with Game Pass. xCloud will come later. We're talking about Game Pass right now. Game Pass is the best value in gaming, and it is bar none the best value in gaming. So you look at that and you say, that is their one sole narrative. That's what they give a fuck about. At the end of the day, you need good games to put in there to make it better. And that's what I look at. And then you look at PlayStation, and they're reluctant to put day and date. They have PS Now, they have PS Plus. They could just combine them and make it a subscription service and make bank off of it. But they won't do it because they won't put their games day and date. Instead, we hear PC. Instead, we hear, oh, it could come on PlayStation 4, like God of War, for example. You know,
Mm.
it's a little crazy that they keep playing games with their own consumers, in my opinion.
I hear you, and the funny thing about it is like they get quoted from these like Sony extremists out there, and then a couple months down the line, Sony ends up doing a 180 on what they said, and those extremists are just sitting
Well,
there
that's
with
just
egg on their
funny. I mean,
face.
come
That
on,
is
bye. You're just
hilarious.
sitting there. You're just sitting there laughing. And you're just like, I'm not even gonna comment on this. It's like mic drop. Just walk away. We already told you this is what was gonna happen, but that's okay, right? But at the same time, you need to have a sole point of what you're going to do with your company. And right now, Microsoft says we're all in on Game Pass. Yes, xCloud's there. That's another contingency. But at the end of the day, they are all in on Game Pass, and they have shown it, okay, multiple times in the past 2 years. So what I look at is with all the shit going on in the world, and they showed it to me in the past 2 years, when I needed a new game to play, they gave it to me. You understand what I'm saying? And they gave it to me for what I've already been paying. That's important to me. That means that regardless of how they actually feel, it shows me that, hey, it doesn't matter. You want a game. And that's what means something to me. And it's small sometimes, it's huge at other times. MLB The Show, everybody lost their fucking mind. Okay? But then you have like The Ascent. Love that game. You know what I'm saying? So you look at these games and you say, okay, it's what you enjoy, but there's so much variety that it's just like, I'm going to find one or two. And then I saved at the end of the day because then I'm going to play the Halos that I want or the Gears that I want or whatever you want. You want to play Forza. If you're really into racing, you love Forza Horizon,
Love it.
you get to play it. You get to play it for what you've already been paying for. Now, hypothetically, yeah, you can get more doing other things, but you still get to play it in what nowadays is your full glory. But you don't get any of that from PlayStation. You don't get to play a brand fucking new game because you pay money to them. Because most people do. You know what I'm saying? And you can go and talk shit about Xbox Live Gold and everything else. They give you the options, but the options is from $5 to $15. That is a $10 difference. And you get day and date exclusives. You get the whole spiel. It's a narrative that they have driven into everybody's head. And it starts with companies like Netflix, Disney Plus. They have exclusive content, but they also, for the most part, put it day and date in there. They really do. HBO Now. How many times I watched a movie the day it came out in theaters? That's the world we live in now. You know what I'm saying? And PlayStation,
it's changing though. for movies, it's changing. It's going to be like 45 days.
Yeah.
I mean,
so it's not going to be day and date anymore. It's not going to be day and date anymore.
Well, for some movies, I think like those more movies, they'll
obscure ones that people don't really give a shit about. Yeah, those will be probably day and date.
Wow, he blew it up there. And people don't give a shit about. Yeah, they'll be there, no problem.
No, it's true. Even directors know that half these movies people don't give a shit about. You know,
I don't know. I don't know.
People give a shit about action movies and movies like The Matrix and shit. You know, people care
scary
about that
movies
kind
and
of
shit,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah. They don't care about these freaking dramas and shit. They don't care.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
man, yo, Dark, where's your girl at, bro? What the fuck you doing? Yo, she smacked you upside the head, bro.
Yeah, she did.
Well, let's get K Mega in on this. I believe he's the only person that hasn't really been able to speak on this. So K Mega, you already know the drill. PS4s being
Yeah.
produced 2022. Again, man, I think Predator hit a home run with him talking about they need to have that hardware with this software coming out. I mean, it's pretty much guaranteed. These games are coming out this year with them doing this. That's my opinion on that. But what do you think about this move, man? Do you think it's their answer to the Series S? Like, what are your thoughts, bro?
No, it's not. It's not even close to the answer to the Series S. I believe. I agree with Dark and Pred on that aspect of it. I took a shot. It was a little jab, earlier today. And I said, "Oh, this is very interesting. One company is moving forward, the other was still hanging back in the past, right?"
Oh wow.
And so, of course,
You said that about Xbox, right?
No. PlayStation. I mean, why would you're going backwards? Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you're supposed to be the console of the generation. I mean, you're only supposed to think about the generations, $70 games. You're not the PlayStation 4 was on news, Jack. But for some reason, y'all decided to go backwards. So I thought it was humorous.
That nostalgia, man, is what it is.
Yeah, but I took that little jab, and so Brap come in there and
oh no,
and quite a few PlayStation cats came in there. Broken down games. All the I say broken down games.
Broken game? Really? BG came in there?
Oh yeah, BG.
Hey man, you should have started the spaces, bro. They would have felt comfortable.
Yeah, well, so it was kind of funny because the whole point, because the first person who came at me was Brap by trying to make this point of, well, no, listen. Most gamers didn't care about the whole cross-gen situation. Sony made that a talking point, and so that became a stance narrative. And so that was look at you, you're going to be, your consoles are going to be held back. And so therefore it sparked those narratives that they have been so wrong about here for the last damn near 7 years. Made me make that point. Like, oh, Sony believes that they need the PlayStation 4, for the reasons because they do have God of War, the chip shortage, things like that. That wasn't the first plan that they had, but obviously they had a backup plan that they could fall back on. So that's good for gamers out there, right? My point when I was saying that was like, look, man, you guys keep making these narratives, and Sony keeps changing everything back on you, and it makes you look like fools. But yet you're still trying to defend. You're trying to gatekeep for something else that Sony said when you were saying the complete opposite. So I mean, you guys are ridiculous, right? And then, of course, the one thing that stands do, PlayStation stands do, they love doing this. Once they know that the argument can't be won by talking directly about the topic that was at hand, they divert to something else. So it came from Flight Simulator isn't an actual Xbox game because it was made from a third-party studio, and that PlayStation has been, because that was the very first time that I've seen the narrative start to drop.
But if that's the case, that means Returnal wasn't a PlayStation game because it was made by, at the time, the studio was not first party.
Well, I went even better with that. I had to hit him over the head with what I said back, but no, but also, because I said you guys always keep talking about Bloodborne. Bloodborne is Sony don't own From Software.
Ooh.
But regardless, what they kept changing.
What did you say about Bloodborne?
I said
fucking be talking shit.
It's trash. He said that game.
Oh my god. Anyway, no. Or Until Dawn, or
better than half of the games are on Xbox.
Oh my god.
Deep in this bitch.
This is the biggest problem behind.
So he's saying the other half of games on Xbox are better than Bloodborne. That's what he just said.
Well, I mean, all you have to do is just look at the quality games that dropped this past year in 2021 compared to the competition.
Oh, so Halo and Forza? Oh, okay.
Oh no, it was way more than that.
The games that you guys
I
always
got a
get.
game for
Yeah.
you.
So,
I got
so
a game
yeah.
for you.
What is
But,
this turning into, people?
I don't know. It seems like I don't know.
It's becoming a Spaces now.
The salt is getting real in here. But
He said it's becoming a space.
they know that
My
this
friend.
is what. Remember when Sony said last year that they were going to start they were going to show support for the PlayStation 4 from 2023 to 2024. They said they were going to go past 2022 and beyond. They even said 2023 to 2024 even. So, and PlayStation has been known to do that. So that's why when this was odd that they were going to go all in, but they had to go all in because they're selling these consoles at a huge loss, bigger than what they wanted to. Because they wanted to, remember they wanted to have the PlayStation 5 at like $600, but Xbox wasn't going to be a fool this time and try to say, yeah, we'll do $600 too. They were like, no, we gonna undercut y'all's ass just like y'all did us last gen. So then it put Sony in a predicament. But then the chipset started, and this is what's weird to me, right? Like they knew this direction was coming out. So why did Jim Ryan even open his mouth and say something about generations when it was already said before then that the that the chip shortage was already about to drop? And they even predict that the chip shortage is going to go even past 2023. They're like, it's going to be
human and we say stupid shit. That's why.
Yeah, I understand, but
Well, shut your fucking mouth.
Right. So again, it all has to come. It all has to stems to the reason they were going to probably have maybe 200,000 PlayStation 4s or whatever because they were still going to support it, but they bumped it up to 1 million because they want to get as many sales as they possibly can. But there's one thing that Fred said that was absolutely factual and spot on, and this was the situation when I was on Crossfire. I made that argument with Mooch, and I think on here too, where the day and date makes so much more sense than waiting. Because if you had the day and date, just think about that. God of War is going to hit records on the PC, right? When it drops. It's already, the pre-orders is already knocked out the park. It's the best-selling PlayStation game that they've had on there so far. You got Ragnarok coming, and you have that day and date, that shit's going to double, quadruple. They won't even need to pump out more PlayStation 4s. They'll probably get the revenue that they're looking for from just their PlayStation 5s and PC and off the PlayStation 4s that's in the wild, that's already in the wild. You know what I'm saying? So right there, they sit there and try to play these games by saying, well, we're going to just wait. The problem with these shortages is going to add more and more pressure on them to put these games out on PlayStation 4 and on PC a lot quicker than what a lot of people are anticipating. No doubt about it. Because why would you can't sit here and just keep waiting on a magical pill to pop up and some they can buy as many factories and build them and everything, but if they don't have the equipment in order to make the chips to make the consoles, then they're just going to be in the same position, and they're going to be hemorrhaging money because from what I read that Sony was going to put in a couple of $1 billion for some plant out there in Japan because they were going to start hurrying up production, while the competition, Nintendo and Xbox, are going to be sitting pretty because there's going to be people that's going to want a Series X, but they'll be fine with the Series S until the X will be available for the gamers out there.
So
and
essentially, they're buying it twice.
You're right, because you know what's going to happen. They're going to trade in or they're just going to buy outright a Series X. And if Xbox gets real dirty and say like, man, you know what? And I don't think this is going to happen because I don't think consoles are going to actually go down in price for at least another 2 years. It's going to be a little bit different. But Xbox, if they sell enough S's, they could go and drop the price on the S, or they could drop a price on the X if they have some in stock, just to keep Sony at bay.
$249.
Get $249 for a Series S. We $400 for a Series X. If they do some shit like that, not only Xbox is playing hardball, but they're gonna definitely dominate because PlayStation is still gonna be are not gonna have enough consoles to keep up. So this is why
I don't know about that.
Okay, listen, man.
He said he didn't think it would happen, but it's
I don't
possible.
know. No, that's what I'm saying. It's possible if
Christmas time next year they get the
Yeah. I mean, I'm saying they might not drop the price on the X, but they can damn sure drop the price on the S to $249. You mean to tell me that
I don't know if they're going to do that because of the fact that those consoles are selling right now. Like the only reason why they did that with the One is because they had a problem with the Connect and stuff like that. If they see that these consoles are making them fucking bank, they're not gonna fucking, especially at the prices that they are right now. They're not gonna.
They'll wait till PlayStation gets their stock. They'll wait till PlayStation gets their stocks, and they'll do that.
Right. See that's the thing. The Series S is just it's the cash cow. It's just like the S. That's why Sony always had sales on the Slim, on the PlayStation Slim. There's always sales for the PlayStation Slim. There wasn't that many sales for the original PlayStation 4 and for the Pro, but there were always sales for the Slim. You don't think Xbox is going to do that right there? That's a no-brainer because it doesn't cost as much as it does for the bigger hardware.
I'm just saying that I don't think that they're going to do it because of the fact that they are making bank off of these fucking consoles.
I think it all
bank
depends.
Off of them.
I think it all depends on timing. I think it all depends on timing.
It definitely depends on timing. So I'm not saying it's not going to happen this year. It might happen next year, but I don't think it's going to happen this year.
They'll do something for the holidays.
Yeah, they'll do something for the holidays. Xbox ain't gonna be playing around for the holiday because remember, people started dropping Game Pass for like I don't know, like it was crazy. Like I think you could get like 6 months for $20 during the holidays. So,
but Game Pass is different from the actual console, dude.
I get that, but the one thing that Xbox and PlayStation wants hardware sales, but Xbox, like he said, it is important, but it ain't that important because software is what's king. They want more people on the platform to invest in the Game Pass, and if that means that they have to undercut themselves a little bit by $50 to $100 on whatever product, they'll do it. They can afford
Ubisoft
it.
coming through too. What?
Yeah, bro. So that's what I'm saying. Like, bro, they said what 500 games is going to be coming. From
You also got to remember that Game Pass is on almost everything now. Like it's not just on Xbox anymore. So like they don't really have a reason to actually bring down the price of those consoles.
They've turned it into software.
Exactly, they turned it into software instead of the hardware.
But enticement,
which they've been always good at. Software,
right?
You bring down the price, Dark.
But if you bring down the price by $50, that's on the S. You think that's going to hurt Microsoft? That's going to break.
I don't think it's going to hurt Microsoft. I just don't think they're going to do that because they're like, well, we already have Game Pass on console. We have Game Pass on PC. We have Game Pass on your phone, on your granddaddy's old.
They don't need to do it now because they don't have a lot out there.
No, they don't got a lot out there.
Let PlayStation 5 start ramping up their stock and putting stuff in stores, and that'd be what you do. You drop your price. Because now you've already hit your break-even mark.
So you're saying if when PlayStation starts ramping up their console manufacturing and starts putting more consoles out on the shelves in the stores, that's what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's when they're gonna. That's when they'll
drop the price.
Right.
When they'll drop the price.
Yeah.
See, I didn't hear that part, so I should have listened.
No, that's what I'm saying. So yeah, no, that's the whole point of the matter is that like, look, I mean, it can happen this year. I mean, Xbox can do it if the hell they want to.
I think they'll do something for Christmas, and that's about it. They'll do it.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying for Christmas. Yeah, but you know, I mean, because you know how Xbox is with like they could probably make that money back by having a a Starfield collector's edition console, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, we got the S for $50 for $249." They could do
That
that
shit's
this
already
year.
sold. I already bought that shit. I'm ready to buy that shit now. I know it. I know they're gonna do that shit.
Right. So, but if they don't, they don't. You're right. They don't have to. So they can wait. But when PlayStation starts repping up, I don't see PlayStation happen to coming in and dropping prices because they've been behind on that aspect of it. Even though people will say, well, they sold 13 million, they sold this million, they're at 17 million. The point of the matter is that they still got to keep pumping out, and when you still got you got competition that still have consoles out there, and if people keep forgetting about Nintendo, and when Nintendo's going to be dropping, like it's like Sony's going to be
Nintendo
catching
is
this stuff
not gonna
behind.
drop their fucking prices on any other shit, dude.
No, I'm not talking about
No, they're
dropping
not.
prices.
Some
I
of the
said
console.
that I did not say Nintendo was dropping price. I said, but people keep forgetting about Nintendo and what they're doing out there. And yeah, with their games and stuff like that, and people are going to buy them. So like the competition is going to be out there. So no, I didn't say that Nintendo was going to sell anything, but they are a big player too. Overall, it's just for me is that Sony came out there big talking, and I don't understand why they didn't check the temperature in the room. Everybody was talking about the chip shortage, So and for them to, and I understand that they didn't want to take a big loss, but the winning ticket was having two different SKUs, not having the same one and just dropping it at $100, and then cheat yourself because you don't even have enough of them out there. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the unicorn. Dark got the unicorn. That's the PlayStation I want is the all digital one. So it is it's a mess. PlayStation will be fine. Nobody's saying that PlayStation is going to go
I'll sell
away.
it to
It's
you
just
for
that
$2,000.
but no, I made my point. Like, I mean, I don't know, but if there's not a PlayStation
Slightly
5 available,
Balls deep, motherfucker.
if PlayStation doesn't have a console available by 2023, by the middle of 2023, I might be just saying, fuck it. I'll just wait for whatever they do and just hope Xbox PC. You know what I'm saying? I might just say, forget it. Because at this point, most of the second and third part, well, a lot of the third party is already on PC. A lot of people was trying to argue me that point. I'm like, man, look, a lot of the games that I have on PC, I bought on first on PlayStation, and then I went ahead and I got them on PC. And so, like some of the second party is over there on PC. That there's going to be more of the first party going to be dropping on PC. So when people keep making this comparison about Xbox and having PlayStation and PC is a good marriage, and that's a good marriage. But so is Xbox and having a PC as well, and just having a Nintendo. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? Because PlayStation is going to start dropping these games quicker and quicker on the PC platform, and gamers are just going to win on that end, and then PlayStation is going to also drop this new PSN or this Project Spartacus situation, and it's going to be huge, and that's going to be huge for them because people are going to see that PlayStation fans do love backwards compatibility, and they should rake in on that. So which will be another narrative that the stands are going to have to change. But this shortage situation has really put them in a bind overall, and Xbox and Nintendo can take full advantage at this point because they got way more content on consoles out there in the wild than PlayStation does.
Sony's sitting there. They cannot wait. They cannot wait to unveil kind of like their retooling of PlayStation Now to get an increase in steady revenue because of subscription services or whatnot.
Services.
They cannot wait for that, man, because that's just constant money coming in month over month. So I mean, it's an interesting situation. Again, it's not anything we haven't seen from Sony before. All previous generations, they have done the same thing. They have kept producing the previous generation even while the current one's going for years. Again, the difference is they kind of put their foot in their mouth at the beginning, talking about about generations and about kind of like focusing on the PlayStation 5, and they had to walk it back, do a complete 180, and the extremists out there are scrambling to try to find ways to defend what's going on and try to spin it in a certain way. But it
And
it
that's
is what it
$70,
is.
and that the $70 by two is going to be a problem. That's not going to go away for them, especially.
Dude, I haven't seen Xbox
Well, it's not going to go
follow
away
suit yet.
for any of the companies that are making their games at $70 though either.
There's
It's just
there's three of them right now. There's 2K, there's
Activision.
Activision,
Activision,
and EA is done
EA,
it.
and Square. Square's doing it too.
Well, it's Square. So but again, so that's another thing. While me and Don was talking about that marriage between Square and PlayStation makes sense with Final Fantasy, but if you don't put those games out day and day to where you could try to get away with that $70, you can't put those games out for $70. 6 months to a year later, you just can't, because people won't buy them. They'll wait. So that's why I'm saying, like, they have to push if they want to try to get these $70 games out there. They're going to have to push these games being there day and date or very close to it within at least the 90 days, and try to go for broke on that. We'll see, but because Square's got good games, but it's not Call of Duty. People just kind of eat Call of, just kind of eat it because Call of Duty is Call of Duty, NBA 2K is NBA 2K, et cetera. Battlefield is Battlefield. But when you're talking about single player experiences, and there will be some games that can get a pass, but not all those games that Square is going to try to pull, or if Sony try to pull something like that, is going to get that $70 price point to be approved by a lot of PC gamers. Period.
Man, it's a crazy situation going on right now. And shout out to Christopher Hart, who made it late but who is in the chat. Yo, shout out to RG Viper, who is at work right now listening to us.
Viper.
Yo, good to see you, my brother Viper. We actually there was an RG Viper reference earlier in the show. So when you do get a chance, catch the replay and see what we were talking about there. But on that note, guys, that's pretty much it for now, man. We gotta wind it down. I gotta get to bed. I have to go to work early in the morning. Get ready for that work weekend. But huge shout out to the chat. You guys have been absolutely fantastic tonight. Just seeing the back and forth going on, all that good stuff. If you haven't done it yet, definitely hit that thumbs up button. Share the show out. Let people know that we are live every Thursday, 8 p.m. for you guys. We talk the gaming news. But again, we hang out with each other. We joke around and stuff. There's a lot of entertainment to be had on this show as well. But yeah, like a 40-year-old with a comb over, it is time to get those plugs in. And let me start with Predator. Let me start with Pred. Get that out of the way. Pred, what do you got for us for an outro, brother?
Nothing, man. See you next week.
He will be here. He is a next podcast exclusive. That is right.
Exclusive.
Well, I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. Let's go. K Mega next. K Mega, you do have a show tomorrow. Let us know what is going on with that, and anything else you would like to say to talk about when it comes to your YouTube channel and Twitch and whatnot, man.
Yeah, no, GRG tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, 2 a.m. GMT time. Come and check us out. Got some guests hopping on, just have a good time and talk. It will not be a 4-hour podcast like it was last week, but it was great to come back, to be back for start of the new year. Great conversations. Also, Fight Night. I will do Fight Night afterwards, so that will be fun. Because I promised that I'm going to do Fight Night two nights a week, and so then Sunday night, you guys can come and check out Fight Night, 9 p.m., 9:30 p.m. Central Time, the Lord's time, and because playoff football will be off by that time, so. and we'll get to it. Play some fighters and
Some Cowboys.
talk a lot of trash. Oh man, yeah, I got to be a Cowboy fan. I hate those Niners. I hate those Niners with a passion.
Let's go. Let's go. LA.
Let's go Rams. Let's go Rams. I'm a little nervous about that game, but let's go Rams.
Yeah, I know, man. I am too, dude.
I did not want to play a divisional opponent.
Yeah, I did. I did not want to have us play the fucking Cardinals, man.
Cardinals, right?
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah. But thank you guys. We'll see you guys next week. Hope you guys just come and support the channel and everything we do. The Dev and the Gamer. We dropped the episode this week on the channel. K-Mega45. Come check it out. We out. So I'm out.
Nice, bro. And moving on to the hashtag Crispy Truth originator, Crispy Bomb. What do you got for an outro, bro?
I won't see you about happy birthday, bro. Love you, man.
Yeah, no, I'll be working.
Yeah, I know. At Chris Bomb on Twitter, Chris Bomb 28 Xbox Live. Find me at Breakfast with Boom tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. We got Retro Renegade, 7 p.m. Tuesday nights. And of course, you can find me back here on the next podcast, 8 p.m. Thursday, prime time.
Prime time, baby. Oh, yeah. And last but certainly not least for tonight is the Angry Otter himself, our resident pony extraordinaire, the single player king. What do you got for an outro, bro?
Yeah, you guys can find me on Twitter, Dark Animus. You can also find me on Xbox and PlayStation with the same name. And as always, you guys can find me here on the next podcast every Thursday. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I was gonna say you said that with so much excitement every Thursday.
and just I haven't been on playing very many games lately, so hopefully maybe this weekend I can because
fraud.
That does
I
not
believe for
sound
the single player experience, you get tired of playing it after a while.
What?
No.
I swear.
Love you.
Yeah.
Love you.
Brett just thinks he could just butter me up, and it's true. He can.
It's true. Yeah, I heard the story on his face.
Red's
all good.
OnlyFans.
Exotic butters.
Oh, no. Yo, guys, on that note, like I said, I do have to go to bed. I have to wake up early in the morning. Yo, shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for all the support on this channel and for this show. Thank you for hanging out with me on my pre-birthday edition of next podcast. I want to do like a birthday, just kind of like streaming game or something like that.
Hey! What the shit? How could you lose?
I don't even know what's going on anymore. But hopefully,
Next
Amy...
podcast sponsored by Sweet Fish.
No, it's never. But hopefully that'll be Monday. Stream a few games out there, guys. I hope you like the Assassin's Creed gameplay. This is I think this might be a first ever you guys getting a chance to see how I play Assassin's Creed like an assassin.
Oh, this is you playing Assassin's Creed? I thought this was K-Mega playing Assassin's Creed.
No, K-Mega would have just jumped up and started slashing and everything.
Just saying.
I did not die a lot. I died once.
Yeah,
and Dark enjoyed my games more because he was asking about my games.
That's not true.
I was.
Not true at all.
Even you asked about my game, Spot.
I asked about one game. And now that I know, if ever I ask that, like your ego swells. I'm not gonna ask you about any of your games anymore.
It's well, I show gameplay so people can see the games that I play and games that I would hope that people can be a part of. Like, I mean, what's wrong with that?
I mean, can your head get any bigger, K-Mega? I'm just wondering, man.
Can it?
No,
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
It can actually. It can.
He's got like the Barry Bonds cranium going on right now.
Both of them can get very large.
Are you trying to say he's on steroids?
Totally ugly picture.
Yo, guys, on that note, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We will be here next week.
Bro,
Thursday.
what are you talking about, man?
Fuck this shit. I'm out.
Dude, that sounded like Yobi real quick. I was like, how did Yobi?
It did.
that's
It
how
did. I
thought
was
it
like,
too, yeah.
I had to look and see. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. We will see you next week on the next podcast. Have a great night, everybody.
What?
Later.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
That really sounds like
Good
Yobi.
speed.
This is Steve
Step
Downs,
talks.
the voice of Master Chief, Spartan 117. And you're tuned in to Next Podcast. Now, wake me when you need me.